aumenta no som que o baile funk acabou de começar.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown being. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a peon, kind of time we on. Jump roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a whole up class. Hit the gab, I talk that gap. Strut like up and I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Get that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Tell them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang, but they drop in hit. Said on the man, post stop, no miss. Over your head, next time, don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. I'm trying to count to 100 down. That's daily. Gravy pay me. M's and M's, no Slim Shady. Make account going so crazy. Still live it up when I'm over 80. Flying, I'm hotter than Hades. Middle fingers up to the ones when I hate me. Come with my ride and I'm up like a drought. Everybody lying for a little bit of clout. Stay making moves like I'm trying to sell a house. That's how it be when you're raised in the South. Mama always said that this money be the death of me. Money can't buy you happy, but I never seen a sad man ride in a jet ski. Time will tell, moving breakneck speed. First it was hate, now they drop my steez. Took small sips, now they drinks on me. Commas in the bank, that's all I need. Business first and chill after. Set to cruise, but not the actor. Work hard, let the money stack up while y'all broke like a stress fracture. My God.
Everybody, and welcome to the East Africa Clash. Today it is going to be the grand finals, aka the finals of the finals. So be ready to have some fun and jump into the battleground. My name is Crowns, and I would be the one anchoring and piloting you through the day as we go on to see what these teams and what these players have got in store for us today. We do know that finals do get heated. We've had one day played already. I believe that was yesterday. And then today we will be going into the finals of the finals, which means these 4 games will determine who we will be crowning as the champions of the East Africa Clash. And speaking of which, let us see what those leaderboards are looking at the moment. Those number 1 with 91 points already being put up on board. 91 points in one day in 4 games is diabolical. I have to say that one first, but I'm not gonna go dwell too much on it. RRAGE in second place with 62 points. That's about 30 points different. So that is a mountain to climb for RRAGE if they are looking forward to climbing up on that leaderboard and trying to be number one. Pain Africa, a very surprising showing from that team, as they have 38 points in third position. So there's like a 30 points difference between first and second, another 30 between second and third, well, close to. And then from third place is where things start to even up a little bit, with Team Unique following in fourth place with 35, Neon Force with 35 as well. Elite R in sixth place with 33, 27 for Blacklist Generation in 8th, Invincible in 9th, Relentless in 10th, Ocean Galaxy in 11th. Good to see Ocean Galaxy here. Tactical Team, LALENA, eSports, ALTMAGICIANS, and you know how the vibe goes. Today we will be having 5 games, as we'll be starting things up with Erangel, going over to Sandhawk next. We'll be going to Miramar, back to Erangel, and we'll be closing things out in the finals here for Miramar. So you have 5 games to show us exactly what you've got, and what beauty of this is that if you mess up the first Erangel, you have another Erangel that you can use to make things up. And the same thing applies for Miramar. But we do know Sandhawk is that wild card map. You know, like that Sandhawk map is the one that could throw you off, and it is the same one that you could also use to bounce yourself back up top of the leaderboards. From what we've seen on the leaderboards, it does look as though Death Dose is taking this home, because 91 points in one day makes me feel like they can replicate that going through in today's games as well. So that being said, be sure to tune in, let your support be known in the chat, and we would see how things go from there on out. This entire tournament is brought to you by Kenya Pubg League, eSports Somalia Association, and Bravo. Those would be your sponsors for today. And in case you're wondering how this beautiful graphics is coming up through, it is being sponsored, or it is being brought to you by GPE eSports. Once again, my name is Grounds. I will be the one that will be driving you throughout today, because Mitch slide me. I have to put that one out there. But that being said, we are getting ready, locked and loaded for the first game of the day. It's going to be none other but Erangel. So definitely we'll be seeing how this goes. I hope to see a day, and I hope to see a game whereby Get Those doesn't just walk away with it, because whatever has made them have 91 points in one day makes me feel like they can replicate that. But without wasting any further time, let's get into the first game of the day. Let's go, man. That is how it goes, and that's the energy that I'm looking for as we hop into Erangel to get into the first game of the day. Playing path looking quite all right, as we do see it's going all the way on that eastern side, taking us all the way from Severny, the outskirts, all the way. Oh well, actually make that the military island. Those are the water there from the military island, and we'll be ending things off in Severny. If you do not see what is on your screen, you do know that that is a very eastern playing path. Teams that are out there looking to land in Jojopo would be having a little bit of a problem. Ferry Pair, Primos, these are places where you might need to get a vehicle if you're trying to get to that place for loot. Same thing would be said about Gatska as well. But we're already starting to see teams hop off the plane, jump out of their places, and try to see if they can find a way into that circle. I'm really looking at this play zone. I'm looking forward to seeing what the play zone would look like, and at the same time I'm going to be keeping my eye out on Dead Those just to see how well they've been playing, because to be honest, for you to be leading the 91 points, I don't think anybody's understanding that, man. Like, I need to do the math here real quick. 91 points in 4 games, so that is 91 divided by 4. That is about 22 points per game. That is a chicken dinner and at least 10 eliminations. So that's a chicken dinner and 12 eliminations. Yeah, and they only won 1 chicken dinner. So which goes to show, like, every other points, they did get it from racking up a whole lot of elims. So really, I'm gonna need all these teams to step up and show me that they're not just gonna sit and watch while the players there from Dead Those grab this tournament. Playing Path actually, yeah, did compliments with the play zone, as we can already see everyone in the circle. Well, many teams already in the circle. That circle is out there on that eastern edge. It is one of those circles that, you know, I like to call the undecided circles, because we do not know if it's going to stay on the mainland, and we do not know if it's going to go to the island. So that is one place that we're keeping our eye out for, to kind of see how things would play out, and where that zone will go. So it's going to be one headache for the IGLs here, you know, trying to figure out if they want to go early to that island, if they want to leave the zone, goes to the island, if they want to think he stays on the bridge, if they think he's going to stay on the mainland as well. We do see a lot of teams very close to each other, but if there's one thing that I'm enjoying, I cannot see more than just one hot drop. So that is good. It's not looking like everyone, it does look like everyone does know where each other lands, and there's that respect and well, not just respect, it's more like maturity. I think that's what the word would be, because you just know, like, okay, let me get looted up, let me get comfortable before I start to push fights. So that is one thing that I'm very impressed to see. The only hot drop I've seen so far is that one happening out there in Stallbar, where we have the players there from Tycoon. Looking to be chilling with I don't know what team that is because it's kind of covered, but I do know Tycoon is out there in a hot drop. So we'll be seeing how things play out, waiting for that um elimination feed to tell us what's going on. With that being said, Ocean Galaxy, a team that I'm quite excited to see here. I did give them a challenge out there in the group stages that I wanted to see them make it into the finals, and indeed it looked like they were listening and they made their way up here to the final. Tycoons out here with just 3 players. They are out here with OL eSports. I believe that was I'm just gonna call it OL eSports. I don't want to butcher the name. It does look like it's Outlaw actually, yeah. So Outlaw Esports here, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they're out here. Outlaw Esports already on the losing end. They do have one player who has already been knocked down. I promise you guys, I've been out of the game so long, I've never seen these buildings before in my life. Either that, or I just don't go to Stallbar enough. So I think next time I go to the Erangel, I'm gonna forget about wherever the zone is, forget about wherever the event is, and I'm just going to land in Stallbar just to savour and enjoy what these buildings look like. It doesn't look like Outlaw are having any interest in reviving their teammates. Sam does seem to be bleeding out a whole lot. That guy has got. I promise you, that is right. Because if I'm in his position and I see my teammates not even trying to come res me, I will be having a flaming head as well. My head would be very, very hot, and I would be pissed. Because what? They could have grabbed that revive a very long time ago. But you know what? I've said, you know what, whenever I'm wearing the bonnet now, I don't want to be crashing out. I don't want to be yelling at teams. I want to just be that gentle caster who's just going to watch and cast. And speaking of which, I already know many of you don't even... Ooh. I know many of you don't even want to... Many of you don't even want to hear my voice. But hey, you would hear this voice whether I like it or not. Anyway. Let's get into it. Not too much going on early on in the first circle, and this is what I'm saying. Those are your guys. Look at them. They land around the mansion area. That they've got Payne, Hardy, Dovisky, and Phoenix. Looking to be the players there. And look at that. Average elims 14. Average elims 14. Average elims 17. Phoenix has an average elims of 21. And look at those damage numbers. They are absolutely wilding on the lobby. 66 eliminations, bro. Lobby, you have to step up. You really have to step up. This cannot be happening. I promise you, this should not be happening. This cannot be happening. This is not supposed to be happening. You're not going to let one team just totally ride the entire lobby. 66 eliminations. And you know what surprises me the most is the fact that we've got teams like RRAGE in the lobby. We have Payne Africa in the lobby. We have Team Unique in the lobby. We have Magicians in the lobby, you know. I fail to believe that I have teams of this caliber in the lobby and they are letting one team do this. Like, look at that. The top 5 eliminations, first 4 players, of course, are from Dead Toes, you know. And then we have RRAGE now coming in with Pubg, you know, with 12 eliminations, 2,300 damage. But a whole team, come on, East Africa. This is the grand finals. It's not the playoffs. It's not the group stages. You know, I would really like to see you guys, you know, step up. So, please, I want to see that today. I feel like with what I'm seeing, I don't think Dead Dose is not going to win this. I feel like they've won this. There's no fighting it. There's no arguments. They've won this already, so no problem. But I want to see a battle for second place. You know, Payne Africa is a team that I know to be quite good, and it's still the same players that I know. So I'm really hoping to see them step up, because to be honest, this is not the Payne Africa that I know. You know, I'm seeing Payne Africa in other tournaments and I can see them turning up. So like this tournament, I don't think it should be any different. So yeah, Payne Africa, if you're listening to me, I would like to see you guys step up the game and show me that Payne Africa that I know and love and enjoy to watch, you know. So yeah, Payne Africa, the ball is in your court, the guns are in your hand. Neon Force, the team that is out there sitting in 4th position. You see Lamron, No Mercy, Klaus, and Tony. being your 4 players that are representing the team there. 26 eliminations that they've been able to accrue. We do see them grabbing a whole lot of damage numbers as well, as we already see them starting to find their way into the circle all the way from that northern edge. It does look like there is quite a number of teams that are sitting on the edge of the circle. A couple of them already looking to head towards the center of the circle, like RRAGE, but we're already starting to see some of those rotational clashes happening out there in the first circle, where we can already see on the western edge, we're having the players there from Generation rotating very, very closely to some of those players there from the Magicians, if I'm not mistaken. They do have a little bit of an idea, but it does look like their mans are just chilling. But speaking of that, circle does look to have shrunk a little bit. Circle still remains steady, confusing, and this is where it starts to get tricky, as I said. Do you want to stay on the mainland? Do you want to stay on the island? Do you want to believe it goes to the bridge or not? But we'll be worrying about that later, as we have the players there from Ocean Galaxy looking to draw too close to comfort for the guys there for Neon No Mercy, as No Mercy now would be the one to grab the first elimination, but it's going to be a worthy trade, as the players there from Ocean Galaxy says they are not going to just let you put one of their players out without a fight, and it looks like they want more. Cloud Force for the side there of Neon Force, as we start to see Neon Force now completely crumble, losing the numbers. But oh, you do see that flank coming in through from No Mercy. He does expose himself a little bit, and Ocean Galaxy do not want any more of this trouble. They will try to survive with one, or maybe not, as 3X does seem to have found one more knock. He might be on the squad wipe here. Oh, but he does get foiled. No, Dybala doesn't want to run. Falls out of that vehicle. He's going to lose too much HP. The DBS in the hand, not enough, as Neon Force would end up surviving this one with at least 2 players to hold down the fort. And Epic looking to get started with the side there of Deados. And this is something I'd like to watch, because I want to see how Deados is defending their fights, as we're starting to see them all take their fights. Deados out there on that eastern edge of the circle. They've got 2 teams currently around them. It's going to be Epic, and I believe I see another team there. I'm just trying to recognize what team that might be, see how well they'll be holding up. Zone is already moving. We're seeing out there in the school area. Pain Africa also drawing very close to comfort, as you can already start to see them on the lower left of your screen, scoping in onto those players, trying to see if they can find themselves a knock. This is a position that is being held by Invincible, but usually whenever you want to hold this position here, you want to make sure you don't have everybody in the shack. You want to go for a little bit of a split. I'm enjoying the 2-2 split I'm seeing coming through from them, so I'd like to see how they play that one out. We see TT we see TT out here in the lobby. I'm trying to figure out what team that is, but they're out there. They are having to ward off the players there from Deados, who seem to have gotten their revives. It's going to be tactical team. And how tactical would they be? Deados seem to have a whole lot of flank angles at the moment. Team Unique so looking to be the ones getting approached by Pain Africa there, as Pain Africa lose one, but it is a worthy trade. Nade's in the hand there of Exist. He does seem to be looking for that one. If he pulls that nade up, he might just be good. He sends the nade out, does a lot of damage, not quite able to find any knock. Legacy pulling in from behind. The shots are there, but not able to connect. The Madman falls, but Pain Africa cannot hold down their fort, as Team Unique emerged victorious on that engagement, surviving with 3 players alive. But I guess that is a worthy fight that they were able to take out there. Happened quite quickly on that northern edge of the circle. Pain Africa, to be honest, this is not you. I'm sorry, Pain Africa, this ain't you, man. Pain Africa, I'm pained. But I believe in comebacks. So yeah, second game of the day. There's still 4 more games to go. So I'd like to see how well you run that one. Blacklist already sending into the shack there, being held by Invincible, as Invincible will lose their player on the off angle. And now it's the question of what is the rest of Invincible going to do. We already see 2 vehicles being deployed. Skill getting into that vehicle, trying to drive in a little closer. That is a very bad spot to be. But anyway, hopefully better than crashing. He's got a grenade in hand. Same thing can be said about Icors. Now it's a question of whose nade is going to connect. Nade being sent out. Icor is able to get out of there just right in time. Kill. Not quite able to hear much, but he does know like there's people in here. That's a very beautiful grenade into the building. Icos falls. Invincible now. Here comes. Oh, I love that play. Molotov to the top floor. The rest of the team are looking to form up. That is actually a very good play, but man, Invincible get that flank angle. Damage number is being done. Not quite able to find the knock just yet, as Emperor falls outside the sniper tower. The rest of Invincible now form up. Zaber is going to be the first in line. Smoke's being deployed by Q as he starts to make his push up. Waiting for his teammate as they're waiting for that one. It does look like a revive. Okay, no, not the revive though. That player is no longer upstairs, and I don't think they're aware. Q falls to that off angle. Zaber now has to hold down his fort as the last player there for the side of Invincibles. Here comes the reinforcements. Revives now coming in through. It might be a 1v3 as he does find the first knock with the pump shotgun. But there comes the rest of the players as the revive has been there. Icos doesn't want to heal up just yet. And Mo, another knock has been found by Zaber. Is he onto something as the rest of Blank? Or make that blacklist start to form up from the side. This player with the pump action looking for a third, and he does find the third. It is now one player left as Zaber. He's on something else. It's 1 HP he has to deal with. And he's got a Molotov. Sends it out to the side, and he's not going to be able to find any of those burning damage yet as Icos being forced now to heal. Same thing can be said about Zaber. If he doesn't hear movement, he might know that revive is coming, but Icos doesn't want to grab that revive. He doesn't seem to have a full HP. The squad wipe is there. Zaber on the elimination feed. Do not play with that, man. The pump action in the hands of a master, and he's able to do that one, execute it perfectly. But we're not going to stop. Tactical team, welcome the players there from Deathdos. They do have 2 knocks already as Deathdos coming in through from the side. Hard, he jumps and he falls as Deathdos taken out of the lobby quite early on in the game. And this is what I would like to see start to stop them from making them even gather any more points, because the more points that these guys gather, the more embarrassing it starts to look on you as a team or as teams in the lobby. So I'm loving that one. 91 points remain the number that they would have as the players there from Deathdos fall. Invincible, they do have Zaber to thank for all of that. Guys, can we see the zone real quick? Yo, I promise you guys, this is a disaster class of a zone. A lot of things are in the zone. As I said, this is one of the confusing circles. The zone has gone to the military island, or does seem to have favored a lot of the military island. However, the bridges are covered by the blue. So which means if you're trying to get into the circle, you have to take a lot of blue zone damage. And this is stage 3. The blue zone damage is not as fun. There's only 2 bridges that lead. It's crazy because you can't even gatekeep. You cannot breach camp as well, because it's pointless. You're going to be in the blue. The best way to get onto the island is through the bridges, or if you want to swim. And if you're going to swim, we're already looking at RRAGE making it up to the shorelines already. Once they make it to those shorelines, anyone who is trying to poke their head out of the water is basically free elims. Yo, guys, we might be in for a treat. We are actually in for a treat. Ooh. Someone says, seems I do not know Deathdos. Man, I do know about Deathdos, but I'm like, you do not let a team, do this to you. Can't be letting one team just completely ride the whole lobby, bro. You have to step up your game, But yeah, Deathdos does seem to be out of the lobby for what it's worth right now. Not like I'm happy, but I'm glad. I know that's very contradicting, but hey, I like to see other people fight for first place, and I want to see the attitude that comes through from RRAGE now. Seeing that the team that is number 1, there's 30 points to climb. I believe you can cover up 30 points in 5 games. However, you're just gonna need that team that has that lead to have bad games. And well, for what it's worth, Deathdos already had a first bad game. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Team Unique looking to take a little bit of blue zone damage in order to gatekeep. And this is what I was saying earlier. Now the blue zone is covering the bridges. So it's going to cover the bridges. And it's like if you're not swimming, you would have to take a lot of blue zone damage. And to be honest, I do not know how many meds these teams have got. I don't know if many of them realize the situation they're in, but I'm loving what I'm seeing so far from some of the teams, especially Generation. They're choosing to stay on the mainland, try to pick up whoever is trying to rotate in late, and they will be going in even later into the circle. The circle moves again, and now it's on the mainland. You have no choice. You have no choice. You have to head on to the island. Deathdos. Sorry, Gen Z, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That is the question I've got in mind. But Invincible, though, Zaber cannot save you every time. And this time they've got Neon Force being their worthy visitors right now. They are also on the mainland as they are expecting to complete. They have to finish this fight as quickly as possible. They've got 1 minute and 10 seconds to complete whatever engagement they've got here with Neon Force. Neon Force have got just 2 players. And the players there from Invincible are still up as a 3-man squad. They should be able to do some isolation. And they should be able to find their push in. As we're already starting to see nades being traded back and forth. No Mercy on that balcony. He might be getting too exposed. That's a good grenade. Lands, but No Mercy is in the building. Now he knows where that player is. Tosses a Molotov over. But the players there from Neon Force get that mobile. Make that Invincible. Get the memo. They're able to move away just in time. But guys, they do not have the time, I promise you. None of these teams have the time. There is no smooth way to get out of here. So they have to fight. They really, really have to fight it out. But it does look like tactical team also on that mainland. There is a lot of fights going on the mainland, and it's going to be down to everybody on that mainland is going to fight each other, and it's just going to be the players there on the island, the 3 teams on the island to fight it out at the end of the game. But that being said, invincible vehicles are pointless at this point because the only thing you can do is drive into the water and start to swim. Invincibles will leave one player, or maybe not, as they all get their smoke train. That is a good smoke train, not gonna lie, and they will be getting out of there. It looks like they want to try the bridge, but that is going to be a lot of blue zone damage. He's got 17 bandages. Hopefully that is going to work out well for him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be one of the most chaotic PUBG Mobile games. And the reason why I'm saying it is the zone is not getting nice. This is stage 4. If you're not in the water right now, you're cooked. Just know that. If you're not in the water right now, you are cooked. Drive now and get into the circle, because once this next circle closes, you have no more breathing space. RRAGE are just waiting. They know teams are going to pop out of the water, and right now all they have to do is pick up those teams. We're starting to see a couple teams coming in through from those bridges, and Neon Force looking to get started. You can't, there's no time to fight. They are taking out some of the players there from Invincibles on the bridge, but we can already see Elitar eSports already on the island, looking to make their way towards the north. Zone does close again, goes all the way towards the western edge. Magicians are heavily favored by the circle. Maybe this might be the time that they might jump up the top of the leaderboard. But look for that. And if you're looking at the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the play zone already wreaking its havoc on the entire lobby. You do not have time. You do not have the time. If you're not in the water, you are cooked. If you're in the water right now, you are cooked. The play zone is doing the damage. This is finals. It should not be happening. East Africa, lock in. RRAGE on the mainland, or break that on the island now. Welcoming the players there from tactical team as they make their way onto the water, and hopefully they do not get overwhelmed. We're down to just 6 teams already in the lobby, as everyone has been completely wiped out by the water. It is crazy to be drowning, and it is even more crazy to be drowning in that blue zone. Elitardo making their way up towards that north. It's RRAGE. They're driving the multi-purpose vehicle. I do not know what it's called. All I just know is that it's a multi-purpose vehicle. It goes on water, it goes on land. Cannot shoot out of it. It's hard to explode. You know, what else? I mean, this vehicle is just multi-purpose at its finest. But anyway, it does look like RRAGE looking to crash this building, and here they come. All 4 players, or make that all 3 players out there. Shotguns in the face of Invincibles as 1 falls. Make that 2 as all 4 of them crash into that compound. Get themselves the beautiful position, and they'll be holding on to the fort. But tactical team not quite resting, as they are right there on the top north, or in the north of the circle. They are looking good, but they've got just 2 players. Maybe not so good anymore. A stone right there. The last player left. Being spotted as the hit markers is connected there from Bomboclat. Bomboclat knows he's done the damage. He cannot waste too much time. That circle is going to start to close now. Oh, I said it, man. I feel so bad for the teams, because there would have been so many teams alive here if all of them are just forgotten about taking fights and get into the zone. You don't see zones like that and wait. You have to jump into the water. I feel like the play zone got even more kills or more eliminations than anybody else in the lobby right now. Anyway, Elitardo get to find their way into the circle. They've been wreaking havoc out there in the circle, not gonna lie. And it does look like they would not be stopping anytime soon as they continue with the push there. The players there from GL trying to get out of dodge. But it doesn't look like Elitar are looking to have it there. They are all out there on that eastern edge, out there on the edge of the circle, as Elitar eSports chilling for elimination so far. But I'm pretty sure their damage numbers would not be equal to that. They have to have done more damage. Nobody's in the next circle except for the Magicians, who have just the 1 player in there. We're down to the final 4 teams. Elitar, Magicians, GL, and RRAGE. RRAGE still alive as a 4-man squad, but they do not have enough eliminations to even cover that gap enough. They needed to get a chicken dinner with a lot of eliminations to at least start to close that gap between themselves and Dead Doors. But hey, can they run it? And that's Elitar starting to go down. RRAGE starting to get those first knocks. They have to push that. It is in the circle. Bomboclat trying to see if he can revive his teammates, but he's down to 1 HP. If I scream his name too loudly, he would get knocked. But he does look to be trying to get danger back on his feet. And Relentless now, Team GL, trying to see if they can be relentless. They do not have anyone in the circle, and here comes the clash as the players there from Elitar welcome those teams coming in through, but shotguns from behind is going to drop him down. RRAGE not having it. 1 player has been felled. Grab your thirst, brother, man. He does grab his thirst. And that is going to be the players there from RRAGE, down by 1. 6 eliminations that they've been able to accrue. Can they get more? Magicians on the top of the mountain. They have the best position in the circle at the moment. But the question is, can RRAGE flip the tides? Can they change the story? It is a 3v4 v1 as oh my god, that's that player. You see him RRAGE. Oh, but it's gonna be Magicians to get that elimination. The Magicians now on the top of the mountain, they are enjoying this position. Oh, as RRAGE now lose one more player to the play zone, they will be losing the last player to the play zone as well. I called it. They all had to push the shack. Smokey's been spotted though, but they know that last player is in that shack. They know he has to be there. You have the numbers advantage. Just crash him, bro. It's a 4v2. One player is already in the blue zone. You know that where that player is, and there we go. Blue zone getting yet another elimination. This is so sad. This is actually so sad. Magicians now will try to crash. Oh, Melio gets that first knock on to the first guy who tries to crash, and now has to pull up that heel. Is this going to be a throw? Magicians still have 2 players, and here they come crashing. Smokey on the side. It's going to be enough as the Magicians would be the one to grab the first winner chicken dinner of the day. I said that they had such a good position in the circle, but unfortunately, fortunately, they were able to get the chicken dinner. As many eliminations, not so much. As I said, I wish there was something that could show me how many eliminations, the play zone got, because this game was absolute play zone MVP. As I said, I called it earlier from the beginning, and these are the things that I would like to see come through from players. When I'm starting to look at teams like this, when I'm starting to look at zones like this, what I expect to come through from the players is start to make up your mind. Put it in the back of your mind that, this is a circle that can either go to the mainland or it could go to the island. We want to be as close to the bridge as possible. From the time that zone shifted and got away from the bridge, I expected everyone to either get into a vehicle and try to cross that bridge, because at that point, teams cannot gatekeep you anymore because they have to get into the circle as well. So I'm expecting everyone to get onto the bridge, try to make it up to the island because that is where you need to be, or get into the water and start swimming. But no, we had teams staying on the mainland and still not fighting each other. They were just wasting time. But anyway, Magicians out there getting the chicken dinner, but they were only able to get 6 eliminations out of it. I mean, we're trying to catch up to a team that has 91 points. This is not enough. But anyway, nonetheless, it is a chicken dinner. That is 15 or make that 16 points that they're able to accrue in that position. But nonetheless, they did make a good position or rotation coming through from the Magicians. They did rotate early. They tried to pull up a breach camp. But unfortunately, as I said, when that blue zone covered when it was clear that the zone was going to cover that bridge, definitely that it is all over. But anyway, those are the points that they were able to get today. For this first game, ATL Magicians with 16 points, RRAGE with 12 points. And look at that. The elimination counts. You can literally count the amount of elims. Like, look at that. Look at that. The eliminations are not even much. I don't even think this is up to 20% of the lobby, And it's like, or let me say 30, so I'm not too harsh. But it's definitely not up to 50% of the elimination. That means over 50% of the players here that played this game were eliminated by the play zone. I was just told they're about to show the MVP, but I promise you this is not the MVP. The MVP is the play zone. But hey, Bumbleclat getting himself 4 eliminations. It is not an easy feat. 468 damage to go alongside it. He did play so well, and oof, what a picture. Look at that. That is aura right there. But anyway, man of the match is going to be Bumbleclat. He did get himself 4 eliminations, 4 knockouts to go as well with it, and we're about to see head-to-head. Head-to-head has to be between the play zone and somebody, but we cannot just look at that. And I did say this about the Magicians, they had such a good position. I think Elite R is also another team I would have loved to see, because I know they were probably dispersing out a whole lot of damage. They did a whole lot of working, but Elite R were not just able to pick which fights they wanted to take, and that is where the problem started. But anyway, 6 eliminations on both sides, 1,000 damage coming through from the Magicians, RRAGE with 961, 4 knocks on one side, 6 on the other side. Total time in blue 2 minutes is diabolical work. But anyway, we're looking at how things advance coming in through, and this is what I was saying. Oh my god, I love this graphic so much. Magicians started all the way from the military island, and then they're going over the cross. And look at what Magicians are doing here, which is what I enjoy. Keep one player on the mainland, keep the rest on the island, because you're trying to see how the zone is going to react. Don't show me full teams. I like it just at the Magicians, right? And then we're seeing that, you see that split coming through from the Magicians, right? They do not know where the zone is going, but they're staying very close to the bridge. That is what I expect. RRAGE also staying close to the mainland, to the edge, is also something that I would expect. Show me all the teams now, because RRAGE, they're there holding the fort. The Magicians constantly playing along that, and that's what I expect, because in this kind of zones, you want to be as close to a bridge as possible. And look at, from this point, this is where I expected everyone to get into the circle. Look at Elite R, instant moving, RRAGE, instant crossing over. Show me every team if it's possible, because every other team at this point, we're still out there. Look at them. Everybody is still on the mainland. That is wrong. You need to get into the zone. At this point, you should already be in the water or by the bridge, and then everybody is still trying to fight on the mainland. If you look at that, there's no knocks happening on the mainland. Everybody is confused, and now everyone starts to try to get into the circle. But that zone is doing way too much damage. Everyone is going out to the play zone, to the play zone, to the play zone. That is, I was so pained because this was a game that had so much potential, but nonetheless, it was still a good play. LATAR were all over the place, and that is why they didn't get as much eliminations, because it's like, do you want to take this fight or do you not want to take this fight? The Magicians stayed true to being on the western side of the circle. They stayed on that western side and eliminated everybody, got themselves the winner chicken dinner. Not gonna lie, I still feel like much more could have been done. This was a very interesting push coming in through from RRAGE. Invincibles did hold their own forts, and well, not gonna lie, I did enjoy some parts of this game, but I did think that a lot of eliminations could have been done. I mean, look at LATAR; they just kept on driving all around. Like, bro, like, you needed to take your fights and pick it. RRAGE, I feel like they should have all crashed this compound, or at least have 3 players crash this compound instead of 2. But unfortunately, they were not able to get that memo or do that. Magicians had too strong of a position, and when the time was there, they pushed up and got themselves the full eliminations and the winner chicken dinner. Match reports: most eliminations definitely coming in through from LATAR, highest damage from RRAGE, the grenade coming in through from LLN, just the one grenade elim that we saw. How about that? Longest elimination was from Benno Baby from Tactical Team. Not gonna lie, Tactical Team did play very tactically, and I enjoyed that. I'm not gonna start to tell you to play more aggressive, but I enjoyed the tacticality I saw coming through from the team. I would want to see more of that coming through for the rest of the games. But top traveler was Milio. This is actually interesting. I really like this, and I know I'm probably talking too much, but I'm not gonna lie, this was actually a very good game to watch. That being said, I enjoyed myself. This was Erangel at his finest. I love zones like that, but not when the play zone starts to take everybody out. But anyway, overall leaderboards will be seen just right after this break, so do not go anywhere. Smash that like button, and I will be seeing you guys in game 2 of the East Africa Clash Grand Finals. Do not go anywhere. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the East Africa Clash. I know that time I was telling you something else, but yeah, I am here. Let's get into it. We have started the first game of the day and we have kicked things off. And if there's one thing I know, it is not very fun to head into Sandhawk after such an Erangel game. Well, I mean, Erangel already showed us something crazy, but the play zone did have a whole. This first game, the play zone was like, today I want some eliminations to myself, and then they already got themselves all those eliminations. But man, let's get into it, man. Sandhawk, I feel like with the way Erangel played out, I don't know what to expect from Sandhawk, not gonna lie. Like, I hope to see more aggression in Sandhawk, and I don't want to get this idea that the only way I would get aggression is going to be from Death Doors. So please, I don't want Death Doors, I love you guys, not gonna lie. However, you already have 91 points, man. You're gonna let it like, let's close that gap a little bit. But yeah, 91 points already to their name. Sanok is already coming in through. I saw a lot of respect with respect to look at that. With respect to the drop spots in Erangel. I want to see if that will be the case here in Erangel, in Sandhawk as well. But as I said, that first game is crazy. Going into the second game of the day, this Sandhawk game is going to be something else. But anyway, everyone's already jumping out of there. I'm not seeing any much hot drop apart from bootcamp. I already see two teams out there in bootcamp. I'm expecting that hot drop in bootcamp. I expected one in Paradise, but it doesn't look like there is more than one team in Paradise, so that's good. Trevno does seem to. Ooh, wow! What have these players done to the zones? And I hope the IGLs in the lobby, at least the ones that are not in a hot drop right now, are analyzing and seeing this the same way I'm seeing it. Because when we see this kind of zones, you kind of know like you have that possibility of getting a quarry finish. This is one of the absolute worst parts of Sandhawk you could be on. That eastern edge. You do not like it. It's so uneven. It is so open. There are a couple buildings, but they're not the best buildings to be in because of such high grounds that surround those buildings. Right? So it's a very, very tricky one. And I'm hoping the IGLs can already start to see that, okay, in this kind of gameplay, this is how we want to play, this is how we want to do this, or well, kind of get the idea of the kind of game you're about to have. But anyway, Bootcamp boys are still going at it. It's going to be none other but Ocean Galaxy and Neon Force going up against each other. Both teams still alive as a full four-man squad. Ocean Galaxy on the bottom floor. Neon Force on the top floor of the main building. Dybala has got an angle on that. Ooh, that is one sick angle there, not going to lie. Alright, Lamron's got a grenade. Cooking it up. It does look like No Face might be the rewarded recipient of this grenade. He does move right out. Oh! Damage is done. Molotov to follow suit. And that is a good grenade. And it's going to be Ocean Galaxy to find the intro knock onto Neon Force. And Neon Force now need to place their focus on one thing. Do you want to try to grab the revive or not? Dybala falls from outside as No Mercy's got the off angle. Two players instantly fall for Ocean Galaxy as they start to throw. No Mercy, Neon Lamron is going to fall, but Tony would be able to grab at least one revive. The players there from Ocean Galaxy down to two. The push is coming up the stairs, but Aman falls. More players trying to come upstairs, but you do not push like that as the players there from Neon Force emerge victorious as the winners of the hot drop there in Boots Camp. And then we waste no time as we head all the way to Camp Bravo now. Camp Bravo is going to be where we're going to be having the next one. What's going to happen out here in Camp Bravo? It's going to be the players there from Outlaws going up against Generation Z. Thomas outside. I do not get why he's outside there, but you want to make sure you have your full squad there. Window has been vaulted. DBS to the face there as Luradin finds the first knock onto the side of Generation Z. Looking for the second, but the jump comes right in time. There is a little bit of cover fire, and the Outlaws have to chill. But Isco coming in through from behind, uses the pump action, tries to get a little bit of damage, but not quite able to find the knock. Jumps are coming in through. DBS doing damage. Isco falls back upstairs as he cannot just quite hold the fort, but he's getting pushed. AKM now being the gun of choice as Isco trying to hold down the fort, but Kelvin does get yet another knock, and Outlaws go down to such a fierce push coming through from the side of Generation Z as all eliminations go up there to Kevin, but nonetheless it was still relatively a team effort in order to take that team out. Camp Bravo has now been reduced to one more team. I'm loving this from Invincible, loving this from Elitar. Understanding what about the zone is about to do. Unfortunately, it's going to lead to an early engagement, but both teams are going to go at it. And this is what I was saying about the compounds here on this side of the map, on the eastern side of Sandhawk. Yes, there is a compound. Yes, it is covered, but a lot of high grounds that are covering this. So you want to make sure that those high grounds there, you're You want to make sure that the high grounds, you're holding those high grounds very well. Oh, and there we go. High grounds already coming into play as Bombo class. Find that first knock onto Sinado and kill now. It's going to have to get into that vehicle, try to head out of dodge. Invincibles get the memo. Invincible get the memo. And they're going to head out of dodge. Yes, they are. Yep, that's about that. That one, as I said, Invincibles have gone for the compound. Elatar have gone for the top of the mountain, and they are just chilling out there. It's going to be very crazy because Invincible wouldn't be able to do a whole lot of work from there. They probably wouldn't have a high elimination game here, so that is not fun. Deaddo's still alive there in Sami. I'm hoping Tactical Team once more are going to be playing a little bit of gatekeep on them because Deaddo's need to get into the zone. The Magician and Pain Africa already did go about their way as we're already looking to get started with fights. Oh well, yeah, they did get started with fights around that trifecta region, but it does look like they would not be continuing on that one. Pain Africa now looking to find a way into the circle. That vehicle is already on fire as Magicians do not want them to just rest on this one. Players there from Blacklist also out here around the Invincibles. And you see what I'm saying? Invincible, you do have compounds. You have that compound cover, but there's Elatar on that high ground, and there's Blacklist who is ready to third party whatever fights might be happening here. But Blacklist, you can't be standing out here for so long. There's only a matter of time before teams start to swarm into this position. But speaking about teams swarming in, it's going to be RRAGE looking to drive towards Painan. I'm pretty sure they are aware of Tactical Team who land in that position. It does look like they do not want to fully go in through Painan. They're just trying to make it onto the other side of the road. Team in Painan there would also be receiving Deaddo's, and it looks like Deaddo's might want a little bit of revenge onto the side of Tactical Team. I'm looking at the map here, so in case you do not understand what I am saying, that is because I can see that on the side and see what is going on. But anyway, Invincible might be receiving visitors with the side there of Blacklist, but there is nothing Invincible can do right now from this compound. So as I said, as much as this eastern side has a lot of compounds, it's still one of those cases where, well, is the compound really the best option? You know, it kind of it limits what you can do. So we're looking forward to seeing how these teams will play it. I just see quite a number of teams on the edge, which I respect. Reason why I'm respecting it for now is because, as I said, center of the circle is nothing to write home about. Invincible can tell you about that. Elatar can also tell you about that. And that zone does get smaller. Still out there looking to be in that center of that eastern side. It's still very, very eastern focused. A lot of teams will still be playing this one out. And to be honest, if every team is able to play on the edge, because there's 15 teams alive right now. Oh, Invincible, you see him. Oh my God, you slept on it. All right, Saber now anticipating the push as Elatar. Lose one player now. Invincible watching that push coming through. Zeba, you know he's not going to vault that window, so you want to watch that player who is trying to push up. There is a Molotov or grenade that you can throw, and finally he clocks it. Elatar is going to try to grab that revive as Zeba has that grenade in hand. Is he going to bounce it off the wall? Yes, he does. Is he going to connect? Yes, he does. I love it. Yes! Zeba does get the first knock, looks for more, but gets returned instantly. Kill the last player left to hold down the fort. He's got a Molotov sending it into that building, and that's a good molly. But then it's going to be Danger coming in through from the side. Danger did show us that he could do a whole lot of damage, but Kill, you need to get out of that building. The players there from Blacklist is to come in for the third party, but Kill is able to find himself another knock as he's getting out the players there from Elatar all on his lonesome. But no, use your headphones. They are behind you. Oh, it's third party. RRAGE coming in through, but no, they're going to get knocked as well. The chaos ensues right here in Sandhawk. Polo has to grab the revive for Blacklist. They heard the fight. They know that there is a team in here. They're sending the grenades in, looking for the knock. As Elatar down to just the last player, but these are the top teams looking to go out one after the other. Danger, DBS in hand, is able to find the first knock. Gets the thirst instantly because he understands the point of elimination. As Danger holding out the forge, trying to confuse the players there from Blacklist, turning his back. But ooh, he gets the memo now. Gets caught on the heel. And down he falls. RRAGE, you have to send it into the compound. RRAGE has to send it into the compound, but they're not. They're not going to fight for the compound, and that is completely okay. They have a high ground. It will make no sense to lose it, but man, Elatar chances to close that points gap now has been reduced. They did get themselves 4 eliminations up on board, but that is definitely not enough, especially when you have about over 20 points between yourself and first place. Actually, there's even 31 points between themselves and RRAGE. But man, what a nade coming in through from Zeba, bro. Like, this was so beautiful. Like, I saw it coming. I was like, is he gonna bounce it off? And indeed, he bounced it off. But man, that was amazing cover fire coming in through from Bomboclat. And Kill tried to hold down the force. Look at him getting down 2 players with the help of the third party as well. But unfortunately, RRAGE from the top of the mountain were a little too proactive, and they were able to get them out of the lobby. The Magicians, I believe that is going to be all of them getting eliminated out there on that western edge. As maybe not all of them, they're actually on the south, up against the players there from Tactical Team. And their Tactical Team, to be honest, if they had actually played even more aggressive in the first game, they would have had a better position. But anyway, zone is about to close now. What are we gonna get? Where does it go? I want to see a quarry zone. It's gonna be so chaotic, and I'm gonna enjoy watching that one. The zone, where do you go? As we await that final circle, or sorry, make that the third circle now. Ooh, quarry zone. Oh, let's see. IGLs put the brains to work. Lakari, who's gonna come out from there? Who's gonna actually hold those eastern buildings is one thing I want to see. Tycoon do have a good position. However, when teams, or if teams decide to play in the center of the circle, they might be cooked. They would get overwhelmed by a lot of those teams. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Tycoons are going to work this one out. Looking forward to seeing how they're going to work this one out, though. Not gonna lie. But hey, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed is all I can tell you. Waiting for how this one plays out. Deados are still alive, so to be honest, if you're RRAGE, you want to make sure that is not the case. And it looks like Generation Z might be the one trying to enforce that law as the Tycoons. Actually, that is the Tycoons. No! Got caught on a grenade. This is a very tricky position, actually, by the Tycoons. But they are welcoming players play from Gen Z. And Gen Z, I love the way they push. Such intensity. One knock has been found by Storm, but Storm is going to get felled instantly as well. Butcher, the last player left now for the Tycoons. And if the players left from Gen Z are feeling it, they might just come down to grab the rest of those eliminations. But the third party might be ensuing. But on the western edge, we have the players there from Neon Force going up against some of the players there from LLN. And Pitax has got a grenade. Tony has got a grenade. Nade for nade. But none of them are quite able to find the knocks just yet. Pitax still holding that grenade as Lamron does find that revive. Shots coming in through from behind as they look for the knock. And that player instantly falls down. But Neon Force will push one more player. Tony is still alive in here, but the trade has been found. As Tony still looking to hold down the fort. It's going to be Klaus to get that knock on his behalf. But Klaus is going to get knocked in turn. Both teams going knock for knock right here. That looks like a very good grenade from No Mercy. Gets the bounce, gets the instant knock as well. Klaus is going to get revived in the meanwhile. No Mercy spots that push coming in through, does the damage, and he's down to 1 HP. We're not going to push that and make it out alive. The instant turns come through from Tony, but he's not quite able to get it. TT Sexy is going to fall, and Neon Force continue with the rampage. 9 eliminations that they were able to get, but they have got a couple of seconds. Grab the rest. Oh, I'm not going to talk as to why he's grabbing this revive first, but I can understand it. Anyway, Neon Force, I believe with 2 bandages and 1 med kit, they should be able to make it out of this one. But that was actually a very good push coming in through. Gen Z is actually another team that I'm enjoying to watch them so far. RRAGE is out. Deados is going to be so happy because they're still alive. And we might be looking at Deados cross that 100 points mark by this game. That is not going to be nice, bro. That is not going to be nice. Anyway, Neon Force, you need to loot up and get out of there as quickly as possible. Zone about to close. Pain Africa holding a position on the edge of the circle. They seem to have just 2 players left, or make that 3. Oh, actually, I don't know. Actually, yeah, they have just 2 players left. The zone pushes away from the quarry, and it's going to be just those compounds that were outside Lakari to play. And I think right now the zone is already starting to get playable now. As teams, you can start to play some of the compounds, and you'd have quite a good position. But anyway, there's no point holding the edge of the blue. Nobody is coming out of the blue zone anymore. It does look like Blacklist are trying to play gatekeep, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one, Blacklist. Might want to get into the circle because it looks like Neon, they are going for that very wide or long rotation. It looks like they want to go down towards the southern edge of the circle to make it into the circle. So, yeah. 10 seconds before that circle completely closes up. And Neon Force picking up their players. They're going to be getting in with the vehicle. Wow, look at that. Overall, average elims. Leon Formers, No Mercy already has 11. Tony with 7. Klaus also with 11. You can get to see how that team is putting in the work. And look at what I was saying about Blacklist. They would have already made it into the circle, but they were waiting to to gatekeep. I don't think waiting to gatekeep is the right way though. But anyway, tactical team, they do seem to be quite tactical. I gotta give it to them with respect to their positioning, holding a 2-2 split on that southeastern edge of the circle. Dead those holding quite a split. It's a individual splits going on that western edge. Players there from Epic just holding it up close to the center. Playing Africa and the players there from GL looking to be interested in the same set of compounds, but Payne Africa will be the ones to grab the first knock. Make that first elimination as well, as here comes, actually no, they didn't get any knocks. Here comes the rest of GL to push into the compound here. And Ammo looking to get that knock, but no, it's only damage that is being done. Relentless staying alive. 4-man squad still alive here. This compound is going to be a compound of choice, but at the same time, on that western edge, we might be seeing a whole lot of trouble though. As Team Unique might be welcoming the players there from Gen Z, and if you've been watching Gen Z so far in this map of Sandhawk, you know that they have been on something different. Neon Forest though, dealing with the rots there of Dead Does. But Neon Forest, they are also one of those teams trying to make it into the top 3 position and situation there. And Dead Does, yep. Yeah, I feel like Blacklist getting taken out by Dead Does. This is on them, bro. This is really on them. Anyway, zone does shift again. Centers up quite nicely on Relentless. So Relentless are going to have a field day here. But they've got a lot of high grounds around them, so they're going to be on their toes many of the time. Teams that have vehicles would be able to successfully crash into this compound. But I'm kind of enjoying the splits coming in through from Relentless here. Can they pull it off? I keep my eye out for that one. I want to see that fight between Gen Z and Team Unique out there on that northern side as Payne Africa get on the horse. They want to get into the circle rodeo style. They're already starting to make their way in. They're driving in. One player does get uprooted from the horse, and Ammo going to be the last player left. I do not understand what the rush was to rotate in, but there really was no rush. That is a good grenade, and it's going to be sending him back into the lobby. That is beautiful from Relentless. 2 eliminations to their name, and you just love to see that one. GG's. Anyway, Gen Z lose 1 player. Doesn't look like they want to try to revive him. Team Unique though with Dead Does gonna be going at it. Team Unique now, they have to get into a compound real quick because Dead Does does not seem like a team that did get told that they have no mercy, and indeed they don't. Legacy is gonna fall. Instantly gets thirsted as well. That's a good grenade, or make that a Molotov option to exist. And Team Unique now, they have to play this one quite slowly, but they are being heavily gate kept here. Exist has to find a way into the circle, sending out the grenades towards Dead Does, trying to make it out from the right hand side, but grenades is all he can work with as he takes some shots towards Hardy. Hardy falls as the shots connect through the feet, and it's going to be Neon Force coming in through for a little bit of third party action. Exist has to pull up that nay or make that a health kit instantly. Getting that instant thirst, he's going to find it. Sasaki comes in through, but he's going to get that knock up onto Exist. The trade has been found. Frag Z, the last player left for Team Unique, holding down the forts. Relentless still alive in this one. Dead Does is still alive. They have 3 players, and they are trying to break into that 100-point mark. You can tell they do not want to go out, but Epic Games does fall. Team Epic now down to just the last 1 player. Does get the shot up onto Dead Does, or brutes 1, but cannot do more than that as Dead Does continue to push into the circle. They already have 7 points. At this point, they have reached 100 points as they continue on with the rampage. Driving around the map, goes for the run over because I do not know what these players are doing. Tactical team lock in as Dead Does find 1 more knock. Still alive. As a 2-man squad, if I'm not mistaken. And there comes the shots. Phoenix tries to find the knock, shooting the shots with the S12K. Eventually finds the knock, but cannot find the thirst. As tactical team will take him out instead. Dead Does down to 1. No revives can be gotten at the time being. And tactical team also down to just the last player. Relentless, I told you they are going to have a field day. Matty trying to see if he can cross the road, but he cannot. Not while Arrow is watching, because Arrow, don't miss those. Does get the knock there. Relentless still alive. They might be able to grab that revive. And Zeus trying to force out that pick coming in through from Dead Does. And now it is a 3v1v1 or a 2v1v1 because 1 player there from Relentless is down, but it does look like they will be Relentless and be grabbing that revive. Error seems to be the only person in the circle right now. Can Error pull up this clutch? He has to take out 4 players from 2 different directions. Dead Does they have the off angle. And that little shark, I'm pretty sure Error is aware, but Error's greatest disadvantage is that vehicle that is very close to him. Because if they actually take out that vehicle, he might be losing all sorts of HP, if not even getting knocked as well. Dead Dose Pain, trying to see if he can get a little bit of HP up. He needs to get into the circle. Error, he knows these guys have to get into the circle, and he's watching. He's got grenades. Prepping it up so early, sends it out. Dead Dose Pain does do the damage there. The grenade is good. The grenade is very good. It does get one, but Dead Dose is going to fall. Now, Error, you've gotten all the help you need. He knows where these players are. That is a good grenade, but he cannot quite find the knock just yet. He's got more to spare. Grenade lands on top of Error, but he cannot fall just yet. G-Man has made it there. And here comes GG's. Relentless get themselves the second winner chicken dinner of the day. And they did play this so well. They played this so well. I loved it. And look at that curly hair. You do not like, he's got curly hair like I do. Well, maybe not like I do, but he's also wearing glasses like I do. Of course, they have to play well. That was such a good play coming in through from Relentless. I loved it. Like, that was very interesting. They played that so well. And you could just see them just heading out of that compound little by little. So I did say it earlier. They were holding a very good split in that compound. And I said they were going to have a feud day. All they had to do was play it well. I asked the question, are they going to play it well? They gave me the answer. Yes, Crowns. We know how to play our way around the map of Sandhawk. This was, and so far so good. I'm enjoying the games because the first two games so far has come with very, very tricky circles. These are not circles that you see every day, right? You know, and these are the circles that, you know, gets you thinking, what do I want to do? How do I want to play this? How do teams play? And how do I want to play to, you know, complement that? And that is one thing I enjoy. Players there from Team Relentless, not too many eliminations up on board, but they were able to get themselves a winner chicken dinner with 7 eliminations to go alongside it. And majority of those 7 eliminations came from taking those compounds. I'd like to see an head-to-head between any team really and what was their name? Generation Z, because Generation Z actually also played this game so well. They fought so frantically. They fought as a team, which is one thing I enjoyed the most. Pushing in numbers is something that I would always support. But yeah, love to see that one as the players there from Relentless who grabbed themselves the winner chicken dinner. 17 points up on board. Dead Dose breaching the 100-point mark as they get themselves 14 more points to put up on board. Neon Force with 11 points. Team Unique with 11 points as well. Tactical Team, once again, they've played well in terms of tactics. You can tell that they have a play style and they have a game plan, and I'm enjoying it so far. You could work on that elimination a little bit, but so far I am enjoying what I'm seeing coming in through from the team, their tactical team. Epic Esports played a little too passively. You were holding very good positions in the circle all through, but unfortunately not quite able to play that one well. Generation Z, the team that actually got themselves 7 eliminations but not enough placement points to go alongside it. They did play so well. This man, Neon for No Mercy, got himself 4 eliminations, or make that 5 eliminations, 4 knockouts. We saw him be an absolute menace in that fight there in Boot Camp, and of course it is worthy that he is the man of the match for this game. Neon Esports or Neon Force did not end up winning the game, but for No Mercy, make that No Mercy was able to do quite a number of damage. You'd love to see that one coming in through. Head to head, who are we going to have it up against? It is going to be Relentless going up against Dead Dose. I do not know how Dead Dose got themselves 9 eliminations, but well, they have 9 eliminations. Because I looked at Dead Dose at one point, they had 0 elims. Next time I looked at them, they had 7. And it's just like, how do they get these numbers up? It is almost like magic. They literally show no mercy. I saw them take out a couple teams out there on the edge as well. Or make that on that southern edge. And I believe it started with Team BL, Blacklist. Because Blacklist had no business trying to gatekeep Neon Force. But they went on to gatekeep and they ended up getting taken out by Dead Dose, who also took out Neon Force that they were trying to gatekeep. And man, I'm not going to get in there. But anyway, 7 eliminations from Relentless, 9 from Dead Dose. Love to see that one. A lot of damage being done. And this one again, we're going to see this. I'm fine with seeing all the teams here. Started off with that circle. From when I saw this circle, I knew it was going to be something chaotic. Like, I know that this is a circle that is not going to be very, very easy to play. A couple teams decided to rotate very early into the circle, and that team being Invincible, and the other team there, I believe it was, I forget their name. But yeah, everything that did rotate early did not quite play so well. One thing that I enjoyed to watch so far was players there from Gen Z. They took so much good fights. But anyway, Dead Dose, we already saw them going in. From when tactical team were not able to take out Dead Dose, you can see that they tried to gatekeep. But those understanding that and sincerely not going for the edge play instantly, heading straight into the circle was a good play. You could see tactical team still waiting to find the players there from those, but unfortunately, by the time they found those was very, very ready for them. And you could already see, I think those took out some of their players at this point of the game, or well, at some point in the game. But look at what I'm saying about Epic. Good position. All of this rotation is happening around you, and they were not able to capitalize. That is not something that I enjoy to see. Can I see other teams? But that's not something that I really enjoy to see. I'd have loved to see them play this a little bit better. And look at that. You see when Relentless took that compound, I did say anyone who's trying to crash that compound would most likely be getting it. That was a very good split they were holding there. Those understood that and did not go for the compound. Players there from Pain Africa tried to crash the compound with a horse, and they suffered to that one because they lost a whole lot of players. Tactical team waited too long to take out the players there from Epic Games, and that's the reason why they got just 4 eliminations to speak about. And those heard that noise, they wanted the trouble, and they did all of that. Error tried his best to hold down the fort, but unfortunately, he was not able to hold down the fort. I think that those got a little too excited in this game, because really they could have grabbed a revive onto one of their players, if not even all of their players, but they eventually just got into the vehicles, got carried away by the eliminations, and let those 2 players bleed out. And unfortunately, when they needed the numbers advantage most, they did not have those numbers. I mean, they were just driving all around the map. That is not what you really want to see. You want to make sure that you're not getting too carried away. If you're wondering what is showing on your screen, this is how we lost players, or where players actually did go out early on in the game. And you can see Invincible and Blacklist going out, in that center, because both teams decided to go on very early into that. This is how the zone actually did progress. And I would really say people should study this, because as I said, you do not see this kind of zone every day in the map of Sandhawk, and these are the kind of games that really, really pushes you to the limit. From when I saw that first circle, I knew it was going to be something else, and the zone did continue on that eastern move up until the end. Match report: 5 eliminations for Neon 4. No Mercy definitely did get the most damage. Also eliminated. Wow, what? Longest ceiling from Phoenix, and 3,000 meters. That man was traveling, He did do a whole lot of movement. Not too surprised. They were trying to gatekeep, and they were not quite able to make up their mind. And that is not something that I really enjoyed to see, that one. I do not know if I'm going to be seeing the overall rankings here, or if it's going to be after a break. But not going to lie, so far so good. We've seen 2 games done and dusted. I cannot wait for the remainder of the teams. We've got 3 more games to go. And right now, we're about to head into map of Miramar. Not instantly. We'll be heading into the map of Miramar just right after the short break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the East Africa Clash. We are approaching the midpoint of the day. I do not know how this game is going to play out because it's Miramar. I'm trying to think of what kind of tricky zone Miramar gives us. Maybe something on the east. You guys, what are you thinking? What kind of zone should Miramar give us, guys? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. If you've not liked the stream, be sure to like that stream. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you are wrong. And if you've also not shared that stream to somebody, you are also in the wrong. So be sure to share that stream to somebody. Tell that person you share the stream to share the stream to somebody, and tell that person to share the stream to another person. You know how it goes. But let's see how this game goes. We are out here in Miramar. The playing path is forgiven. Takes us all the way from I don't even know where. It's going to be from the southern edge of the map, taking us all the way to La Cabrera, actually. I've pronounced that place wrongly for the last 5 years of my life. Isn't that crazy? La Cabrera. I'm just going to stop. But yeah, that is where that zone is headed. That's where the playing path is headed. It's a slant play path. I believe you should be able to get to your play drop spot. If you're going to land in Cluse Valley, Torre Humada, El Azaha, you might have problems. But every other point, I think you should be able to get to. Ooh. I know everyone's probably waiting at what does Crowns have to say about this circle. I don't know. You know, every time I've seen this kind of circle, I always pray that the circle goes further north. Like, I want it to go up, like to the oasis. Like, I want to see that chaos, but I don't know. Every time it always seems to go down towards Hacienda or go, towards the crater fields. But I don't want to see a crater fields finish. It's going to be based on luck, and it's going to maybe not luck. It's going to be based on who gets to that high ground first. So no crater fields, no water treatment as well. Let's just hope the zone doesn't go north, because if the zone keeps going north, we might be in for. Well, I will be in for a treat, but the players, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for them to play. But anyway, playing path has shown its way. Everyone has done their landing. Nobody seems to be interested in getting vehicles to go to farther locations. We have a couple hot drops. TYCOONS is going to be one of those teams in a little bit of a hot drop. But it does seem like, I wouldn't count it as a hot drop because really it's Los Leones. Los Leones is big enough to accommodate up to 4 teams, if I'm not doing my mathematics wrong. Also, really, there isn't that much of a hot drop apart from El Pozo. El Pozo can take 1 or 2 teams, but right now I'm seeing like 3 teams. Like, I mean, there is Tactical Team, there is Death Dose, and then there is Epic eSports, all out here in El Pozo. So I want to see how they're gonna play this one. Death Dose is just landing. You can tell that at this point, them mans are just having fun. They already have 105 points. That's like 30 points difference between themselves and RRAGE. And RRAGE, they're out there in Los Leones. I hope to see them step up the game. I see them step up the game, play a little bit better in this one. So RRAGE, my eyes are on you. I'm watching to see how you're gonna play this one. You need that those going out early, and I think seeing what is going on here, I can kind of understand maybe how Dead Those might have gotten so many limbs, because it does look like they are sharing, if not drop spots, location or rotation spots between themselves and these people and Tactical Team. And it doesn't look like Tactical Team has been winning most of those engagements. Tactical Team strikes me as a team that knows how to rotate, they know how to play, or well, they know how to play around the circles. But unfortunately, when it comes to taking the fights, they've not really shown me that they know how to get aggro. They don't really know how to flip that switch. So, and obviously, Dead Those being a team that knows how to flip that switch, I mean, 66 eliminations, you can tell that they like to shoot. And well, you have that team that does that, they would definitely be shooting up and tearing up the entire lobby. Or well, whichever team they find in front of them. So yeah, that's one thing you love to see. In case you're wondering what the overalls look like, well, we're getting that. We're seeing Pain Africa. They started off today in 4th position or 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. And right now they have dropped all the way to 7th. You know, that's not nice. That is not Pain Africa. Pain Africa, this is not you. I mean, low-key, we already have 2 Somali teams already out there on in the top 3, but then 6th to 10th is also more Somalian teams. So hey, maybe it is there. Maybe they have a little bit in them. Magicians, I would like to see them step up. Same thing can be said about Tactical Team, because Tactical Team have just been grabbing a whole. I'm pretty sure if you look at these 35 points that they have, a lot of it is going to come through from placement points. And I'd like to see more of those points come through from eliminations. We want to see a little bit of aggressive gameplay every now and then. All the hot drops did not turn out to be one where everyone wants to fight. The respect is still there, and I love that. I think if there's something I've enjoyed so far about the way these teams have played, is the respects that they give themselves, with respect to the hot drops. Like, yes, there might be a little bit of a hot drop in some maps, just once in a while, or between one or two teams, but it's not one of those crazy ones. It's not one of those toxic, hot drops where everybody is just waiting, nobody's fighting, nobody's moving, nobody's, those ones where you don't make up your mind on time. So, not seeing the hot drops, but definitely we are seeing those rotational clashes, and we're seeing the fights happen during rotation. So, yeah. If everyone can... Actually, there's nothing to fix, really. It's not a thing to fix. You just gotta play. And that's what I'm saying about tactical team now, because you can already start to see, like, one player is all alone here. He's getting pushed. Oh, that's a beautiful grenade. Actually, he got 2 players down. Oh, 2 players down at his floor. Oh, wait, that's his teammate. Oh, Hardy is there. Oh, this is easy peasy. Easy. Too easy, bro. And yeah, you can already, like I said, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, I can just tell why, Dead Those would have themselves a whole lot of elims, because things like this are happening. I don't understand how they chose to hold that split, like a high ground and a low ground in the same position. I don't know. I do not know how that was the idea. But anyway, it does look like Dead Those. Oof, that's a good nade, but it doesn't quite meet the mark just yet. So Fino have to hold his end now. Now it's a 2v4. Make that a 1v4 now. I'm saying this, or I'm just, because I just know, like I could already just tell that this is what was going to happen, or this is what has been happening over the last couple, or well, over the finals. Yeah. You can just tell. You just already know that is what is going to happen for the finals, because it's like you can just see it. Tactical team doesn't like to fight. They just like to hold positions and rotate their way in. Dead Those, on the other hand, likes to fight. And then you're sharing drop locations with this kind of team. It's always going to get messy. Always. And tactical team have already suffered it there. You can already just see the players there from Dead Those just swarm to that position. They know they're going to be around there somewhere, and then they take them out. And that's just how it works. And Epic Games, or Epic Esports, is also another team that likes to rotate and not fight. So then again, it's like Dead Those can choose to push Epic Esports right now and get themselves 8 elims right off the bat, or straight off the bat from the early from the early points of the zone. So like, Epic Esports, if you're not going to fight, you might want to change. So I was asking how many days total. There's been 2 days of the finals. So you had, I believe, 10 games, or maybe 8 games, or 9 games. But anyway, there's 2 days. Today's the last day. This is the 3rd game of the day. And there's only 2 games left. 1 more game on the map of Erangel, and 1 more game on the map of Miramar. They're Outlawed, looking to make their way into the circle. And a couple of these teams are already getting into the center of the circle. I don't know what is going on with RRAGE, but hopefully they're going to be fine. It does look like LALENA eSports already. Don't follow Bonnie. Pain Africa have a high ground. However, I don't know how I feel about that high ground position. Yes, today is the final day, and we would know who the winner is. Yes, it is. Neon Force looking to find their way into the circle as well. They are on the eastern edge. That's from Pain Africa. As I said, I really want to see them perform. They're holding up the northern edge of that circle there. Relentless also coming in from that north. Dead Those holding on that northwest. That's from Epic Esports. We'll be quite thankful that Dead Those did not push up onto them. They must have heard that fight, though. Must have heard the fights between Dead Those and the tactical team. And I look if you bad for tactical team, because really tactical team could have made it out of there. They could have actually won that fight. But no, they didn't lock in. And now it's looking like Dead Those is gonna keep increasing that number. As I said, I called it earlier, like, bro. We already know like Dead Those is gonna win. Now the question is by how many points, I want to see everyone compete for that second position. And right now, Neon Force is still about 24 points behind RRAGE. So Neon Force, right now, you're going to need more than 0 eliminations. You know, you're going to need more eliminations. The Magicians, though, looking to getting an engagement to the players there from Epic eSports on that western edge of the circle. Make that the southwest. The Magicians now down by players. He did get a trade, but it does look like that trade will get revived. 47k pushes up all the load for Epic Games, and he's going to get thirsted. As another Epic player does push up again, does get knocked too, and now it is a 2v war. A 2v3? Yeah, a 2v3. The Magicians are holding down their fort so well, but Epic eSports, see what I was saying? Like, look at Epic eSports. When it now gets to the points where they have to fight, like, look at, they're not taking their fight so well. I mean, look at that. 44k is most likely about to get. Oh! No, he got the knock. He wants to test that guy, even if that is the last thing he does. And indeed, he thirsts him. Magicians survive with only 2 players. That is not nice. Because having only 2 players in stage 2 Miramar, 2/10 do not recommend. Anyway, zone is starting to close up a little bit more. Oh, and that is going to be Outlaws going out to Neon Force. And Neon Force now starting to increase that. Yes, you need this, Neon Force. Let's go, Neon Force. We need to close that gap between Neon Force and RRAGE at the very, very least. You know? So let's run it. Spain, Africa. Spain, Africa, please. Lock in. Oh, that bug is going to explode. Look at Bonnie. My man's just having fun. Look at that. Like, yeah, you be safe with your buggy. I will be out here chilling on the zip line. Actually, there's so many things I need to explore in this game, man. Like, I actually want to see how the zip line works too. You know? By the way, Pan Africa make their rotations in. They're trying to go closer to the center of the circle. Everyone seems to be anticipating a southern shift. I cannot blame them. As I said, every time I've seen zones like this, I don't ever, like, you don't really see the zone go up to the north, right? I can only pray for a northern circle, but I'm pretty sure this next circle is not going north. It has to go towards the south, or it's going to go towards every other direction that is a little bit favorable. I just hope it doesn't go to the crater fields, because it's going to be chaotic. And I don't want it to go to water treatments, but it doesn't look like you have that much of a choice. But let's see. But let us see zone. Where do you go? Neon Force already getting close to RRAGE, so that's another thing to keep an eye out for. Pain Africa just heading straight into the center of the circle. I hope they don't get overwhelmed, really. And yep, as I said, that zone, it doesn't go north, man. It just has to go south. And I give kudos to all the teams there to just know that they knew that this zone is not going to go towards the north. It's going to somehow, some way go south. And, you know, we already see that zone coming towards the southern edge or centering up just quite nicely. It does look like we'll be getting indeed a water treatment finish. If you know what is good for you, you do not want to be in the water treatment. You want to be outside the water treatment. And I hope teams are able to figure that out. And with that, you already just know, like, about 10-20% of the play zone is not playable. You know, that entire eastern side, like the northeast, you can play a little part of it. But like, you see that eastern side, the edge of that east, yeah, you have no business there. Because they're just going to be easy people. So a lot of teams. Yeah. So a lot of teams. But anyway, let's get it. Everyone's going to be calm. This is Miramar. I'm not too surprised. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. We're on stage 3. We still have 14 teams alive, 48 players locked in and loaded. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one works. We lost a couple teams early on in the game. I'm not too surprised. That is inevitable. It has to happen. But right now, we're just chilling. Team Unique currently seated in 4th position, 50 points up on the board, 1 point just right behind Neon Force. But now that Neon Force has gotten more eliminations, definitely that increase is going to be more. Generation Z. Oh. Generation Z. Crashing into the compound there. That is good. If they get a knock, they can push up the top of the mountain there. But Team Unique, they were just holding down their forts. Generation Z, I think right now they're starting to realize that this is not a good position to be in. This is not a good position that they want to find themselves. They're gonna have to move up really, or move really, really slowly, or well, eventually they're gonna have to move. They're currently outside of the water treatment, but they need that high ground advantage. Dead Dose is also somewhere in their vicinity. So if Dead Dose should say, you know what, we want to push, yeah, They might be cooked. They might be cooked. Anyway. Let's see. Team Unique having fun with it. Throwing the bandages. And everyone is just relaxing, calm, and loaded. So I guess it's the point where we're just like, everyone, how are you doing? You know? What team are you here to support? What country are you from? What country are you supporting? You know, that's one thing I'd like to see. Yeah, down on that south, though. The fight doesn't end. Blacklist already have 2 knocks onto the side of Ocean Galaxy as Ocean Galaxy continue to send in the reinforcements. Reinforcement falls. And Ocean Galaxy down 2-1. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far coming into from Blacklist. I did bash them a lot in that Sandhawk game because, you know, first fight, the third party didn't do the third party so nicely, and then they tried to gatekeep. That gatekeeping was not something I agreed with, but they did it regardless. It ended up costing them the game. Right now, they did seem to handle the players there from Ocean Galaxy just well, and Ocean Galaxy, you know, don't make me ask the question, but, you know, I did say make it into the finals. You know, I expected that if you're in the finals, you are locked in, and I'm not seeing you guys making, you know, similar errors like you were before. Right now, it doesn't look like you guys are able to take your 4v4s and survive. Zone centers up quite nicely. Let's go down towards that southwest. I can already see Dead Doors trying to make their way into the zone, but it's going to be Relentless taking some shots towards them. I can already tell that Phoenix wants this smoke as they come in crashing. HP bars dropping. But Edo's not going to be relenting just yet as they send it towards the players there from Relentless. Khaled is going to be the only one in the compound. Score a grenade, prepped it in hand, sends it out towards Phoenix. Down to his HP down to the lowest maximum. The grenade is sexy from downtown. And Sasuke gets that knock onto Relentless. And Relentless now down to Zeus to hold down the fort. He's on the other side of the compound. Can he be quiet? Can he be quiet is the question I've got in mind. The answer is no. There's a lot of shots coming in through for Dead Doors as they lose one of the vehicles. Not the players, but then the vehicle. They need to grab a revive up onto Sahadi. Yep. And he's going to be able to grab it. Anyway, Relentless still holding out the fort though. They've got 3 players. They lost 1 player there to that engagement. But it does look like out here on that southeastern edge, the players there from Blacklist are going up against LALENA. I'm not pronouncing that name wrongly. 2 players already down, or make that 1 player down for LALENA. Peter's trying to hold down his fort there. 3 men down is the last player left. LALENA eSports going to be praying for some sort of third party. And when they get that third party, they will be able to capitalize, but it's only so much time before Blacklist choose to push into that compound. Pain Africa are waiting the visitors there in the side of Dead Doors. Pain Africa doesn't have the numbers to deal with 4 players there from Dead Doors. Doesn't seem like it. Pilax he's moved. And he's out. Easy peasy, bro. Easy. Easy peasy. But anyway, Blacklist continue with the rampage. 6 eliminations already found at the time being. Zone does go towards that northeast. RRAGE has the circle. But RRAGE, you need eliminations. 0 eliminations is not going to get you anywhere. Deathos already has 10. How do they keep getting these eliminations? Deathos, they've got to show us the way. Neon Force looking to get started. But Klaus is the last player left. Try to see if he can ward off the players there from Tycoon. He's able to find a second knock. Storm shooting through the smoke, but he's been spotted. Klaus takes more shots, but Klaus falls as Neon Force eliminated from the lobby. Players there from Team Unique would be rubbing their fingers together, licking their lips as they anticipate to get more points and climb above the players there from Neon Force in this game. Vibes are in. Mood is getting hot. Movement is ascertained, is assured. One thing I don't understand is whenever the zone shifts, why are these teams always still lurking on the outskirts? Like, bro, get into the circle, bro. Like, circle is not going to wait for anybody. But I can understand, though, this is a very tricky circle. That road, it is bare, flat, low grounds. If you're not in that position being held by Team Unique, you might be cooked. Magicians now receiving the players there from Gen Z. I've seen Gen Z fight as a full squad. Can they replicate it as a team here with just 2 players? That is a question we've got in mind. Oh, that's a good grenade. That is a good grenade. Gen Z. This one might do it. 7 does get a lot of... Kevin, actually. Does get a lot of damage being done. And the Magicians continue sending it. Thomas, do you not have meds? How is Thomas not down? Okay, Thomas eventually heals up. There's no way Thomas didn't get knocked there, though. But anyway, the Magicians still holding down the fort, though. They've got 4 eliminations, only 2 players left. Dead Doe still alive on this one as they continue to wreak havoc on the lobby. Last time I checked, they had 10 eliminations, and it does look like they're increasing those numbers as the players there from Motion Galaxy falls. It's going to be Rage Slayers to take them out. But Rage Slayers, still not enough eliminations that you need to be doing per game. Kevin hears that vehicle trying to make the dodge for it. But anyway, they're still sending more grenades there, Generation Z. Trying to see if they can find one more knock as the Magicians now start to draw in closer, closer and closer. Aim God, very close to Thomas here. Sending some more grenades towards Thomas. I don't know if Thomas got the idea. Dead Doe's already up by 13 eliminations and down they go eventually. That's a good grenade. Ah! Doesn't connect. Generation Z, though, they're expending a whole lot of grenades here just to find a knock, and they're not quite able to find any of those knocks there. Kevin starts to burn. That man is on fire. Whoa. But anyway, the knock does get found onto the side here of Magicians there, as Magicians are down to just the last player. He knows where these 2 players are and he wants to push it. That is the intro knock there with the nade coming in through from the side. He doesn't see that player. Kevin takes him out, and the players there from Generation Z survive to see yet another fight. RRAGE still alive, 75 points up on board, but just the 1 elimination. Generation Z grab their revives there. Team Unique lose 1 player on an engagement with the side of RRAGE as Melio sends the smokes out. So you make that 1 elimination for your team so that you know they want more. Team Unique trying to drive out of dodge. But RRAGE prioritizing that circle for the time being. They understand they need to get into that circle as Team Unique now gets started. Shots coming in through. But Team Unique is going to spot the players there from RRAGE. Go, Exist, finds the knock, but the blue zone too strong for him as he falls. Legacy trekking down the hill. But the players there from Relentless would also fall as we are losing numbers, and one way or the other, Invincible wins the game out of the chaos. They drag a chicken dinner. It's like, how did that happen? How did that happen? I have no idea. I actually thought the players there from Magicians, also as I said Magicians, from was it Neon Forest? It was a yellow team. But I thought they were gonna win the game. I do not understand what just happened, but I think that was third party at its finest. That was third party at its finest. Miramar was one heck of a game. It did feel very, very long. But not gonna lie, it is one heck of a game. This was actually funny. A very funny ending as well. Because I'm like, Invincible, where did they come out from? You know, but not gonna lie, that was still a good and entertaining match we got there from the map there of Miramar. Talk about a way to play this game. Enjoy to see that one there. That is one way to get a win. If you're not gonna fight it directly, you get the third party. Like, nah, this one is actually very exciting. There's no way I just missed out on whatever must have happened in that final circle. But let's get into it. The team statistics as Invincibles got themselves 12 eliminations. How did they do that? 12 eliminations and the winner chicken dinner coming in through from Invincible. You can tell that they're onto something. Hopefully it's not too late for them as they're able to get themselves good eliminations up on board. 22 points to go home with today. 4 eliminations apiece for the side of Zeba and Shakid. And Shakid, if this is the same Shakid, I'm not surprised. What a player. Viciano finishing with 1 elimination, and he did go already kill. Going out with 3 eliminations, but Invincible did owe their forts in some of the engagements I saw them take, and how they won this game, Loki kind of remains a mystery for me. But anyway, match rankings, what do we got? 22 points there from Invincibles. Team Unique finishing exactly. I thought Team Unique was going to win this game, or even Dead Does. So I'm like, what happened? Well, I mean, Dead Does did go out early, but like, it's still like, what happened? That felt a little too fast. But anyway, Team Unique, 14 points. Dead Doors, 14 points. Again, Dead Doors now 2 games in a row where they've gotten 14 points. They didn't win, but they got 14 points. You can see how they got 91 in a day. RRAGE in 4th with 7. Blacklist with 7. Relentless in 7. Ugh, I don't like these elimination numbers. Or even these points coming in through from the teams. Neon Force with 6 points. Generation Z with 4. Atlantic or ATL Magicians. ALTMAGICIANS, sorry. In 7th with 6. LALENA, I see someone correcting me. Paying Africa again, just 2 points. That's just sad. But anyway, Hardy from Dose happens to be the man of the match for this game. Got himself 5 eliminations, 5 knockouts, 600 damage. The highest we've seen from a single player in the lobby for today. And I'm hoping to see someone top that performance. You'd love to see that one. But then, yeah, 17 minutes survival time, but he was able to get himself 5 knockdowns. No assists there so far. I'm not gonna lie, he still did so well. I mean, for a team that got 13 eliminations, he got 5. That is a very, very decent ratio of eliminations, and that's a very decent support coming in through from Hardy onto his team. I think next we're gonna have is gonna be the head-to-head, if I'm not mistaken. And yep, it's going to be Invincible and Team Unique. I mean, both teams were going at it. 12 eliminations from Invincibles, 8 from Team Unique, 1,500 damage by Invincibles, and Team Unique did so much work. That's why I'm so surprised that they did not win the game. I mean, 8 eliminations, 8 knock. But Invincible, 5 eliminations and 12 eliminations and 5 knocks. You can just tell that, they were just stealing away those elimination points. We're not going to lie, a win is a win. They got themselves 12 eliminations and a chicken dinner. You love to see that one. Team Unique, I sincerely do not know how Team Unique did not win. They seem to be on a good track, but well, I guess things happen. Things do happen. But anyway, that is wonderful stuff that we've seen there. That is 3 games done and dusted. Miramar did show us a little bit of itself, to be honest, because that is just how we know Miramar to be. It could be that very slow game, and then at the end, it starts to get very high octane to the point where you don't even know how a team won. You don't even know how a team won, the game that they just won. But anyway, we move. Movement is one thing that must happen. Hardy with the most eliminations. Kevin from the Magicians with 727 damage. Legacy 2 eliminations coming in through from that grenade. I don't know if you remember that grenade, but it was a grenade that I used to push up onto, I forget which team. But anyway, Zeus with the longest elim, and the top traveler is still frags from Team Unique. He didn't cover as much ground as the top traveler of the last game, but nonetheless, that was still a good way to play the game. And yep, let's talk about how this one happened. Maybe we'll see how it happened. RRAGE started all the way from Los Leones. Team Unique started all the way from San Martin. Invincibles out there in Ladriela. We already saw them just land. And one thing I expected from Invincible earlier in the game was that since they landed Ladriela, if they were aware of the hot drop position or situation out there in Opozo, they would have pushed up onto Opozo. But they did not. They just continued on their own business, kept on and maintained the high ground. I did say the water treatment is a very, very tricky type of circle. It's not something that is very, very easy to play like that. And the zone just continued. But at this point, it was very easy because I tell you, most of the IGLs understood this zone is not going to go north anymore. It's just going to keep, either going south. But one thing we just know is that it's going south. And we already saw at this point, a lot of teams had already rotated into the circle to just guide themselves, a very good position to hold. RRAGE making it to the top of the water treatment. And as I said, in this type of circle, you see that water treatment, that eastern side, you do not want to have any business there because those high grounds would mess you up. Team Unique and RRAGE did go about it for quite a while. But once again, Team Unique, coming out victorious. And this is what I was saying. Like, I didn't see how Invincibles came through. Like, where did they come from? They were out there on that southern edge, and I guess they were just poking their head. Maybe this is why they got a lot of stolen eliminations, because they were just there on the edge playing so quietly. And even the final elimination that they got, it was just like out of the blue. Nobody expected that one. But yeah, they played it so well, got themselves the eliminations that they need, and talk about a way to play this game. I'm not going to waste too much time. We've already seen 3 games already done and dusted, which means we are down to the last 2 games of the day. 1 more Erangel game and 1 more Miramar before we crown Death Dose the champion, because I don't think there's anybody else that we can crown the champion. But who knows? Someone might be able to cover 30 points or about 30 plus points in these 2 games. Can RRAGE do it? Will the players there from RRAGE, are they going to catch up? Are the players there from Neon Force also going to catch up to RRAGE? We'll find out in the next game just after this quick break. I'll see you soon. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you might have just seen, a game where there was no caster. I know many would have appreciated, but I wouldn't have. Let's get into it. 2 more games to go. We're about to get into the map here of Erangel once more. We saw a very chaotic first Erangel of the day. Are we going to see another chaotic Erangel of the day? Well, is the second Erangel going to be as chaotic as the first one? I look forward to seeing how that one is going to play out. But so far, so good. We've had Dead Those continue to show that they are not relenting. 119 points. There is no taking it away from them now anymore. The points difference is a little too large. It's almost looking like a 40 points difference now. But I'm keeping my eye out on Team Unique and RRAGE, and also on the players there from Neon Forces. I'm trying to see how that fight comes through. Relentless have played so well today. Coming up to 5th position, I love it. And I'd like to see if they are also going to still climb up even more. Invincible off of this last game, they were able to bump themselves up on the top of the leaderboard. But anyway, if you've gotten the charts of the leaderboard, we're going to see it even more. Magicians took the first game of the day. Relentless took the second. Invincible took the third. But not going to lie, Relentless have played so well across all 3 games. Maybe except the first game. But like second and third, they've actually played so well. And now we're heading back into Erangel. I want to see how they would play this one. And if they have the edge, well, if they are going to have this one, play even better. But that being said, man, East Africa Clash, those gaming or those definitely have won this one. I do not see any of those other teams covering it. But you see that battle for second place, it is still very much active. Battle for third place. And you know what? The top 5 can still actually, second place to 5th position can actually still battle it out for the second space spot. So Relentless, Invincible, Team Unique, and the players there from RRAGE, I want to see the attitude that you're bringing into this next game of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final Erangel of the Pubg Mobile East Africa Clash. Match 4 out of 5. Things are about to get rocky. This is not a very fun playing path here in the map here of Erangel. It does take us all the way from it is southern base-ish. It's almost close to the center, but it is one of those horizontal, playing paths that takes us all the way from Primorsk up towards Lipovka water. It's not as slanty as that, but obviously if you're going all the way to Jojopol, you have to find a vehicle to complete that rotation. If you're trying to make it all the way to Severny, it's going to be problematic. You're going to have to drive a whole lot to make it all the way to Rozok. Yasnaya, you should be able to make it there. Kameshki Stolba, where we saw 2 teams take a hot drop, definitely not an option. If you're going to the military base, I think you're chilling. Obviously, School, you're reachable. Pochinki, you're reachable. Muta, you're chilling. Shelter, Prison, Mansion, Lipovka, and Muta Power are also positions that you can opt to go for. Same thing can be said. Oh! Erangel! I kind of feel bad for the I feel bad for the IGLs in the lobby, not gonna lie. Because this is not fun at all. Like, no game has been a game where they could just rest. Like, these are weird circles. This is a very chaotic circle. I mean, we're looking at the possible quarry finish. Yeah, this is not fun at all. If the zone does not go north, it's gonna be chaotic. And let me spell out what this means. If the zone goes north, we're looking at Gatka open field finish, which I would like so much. The players would not like it because it's open field. If it goes to Quarry, the high grounds in Quarry is very, very disgusting. Like, you just don't play it. If it goes down, that would mean you would have more water than land, which means you have to make do with Ferry Pier and Primorsk. Everyone has to head all the way to Ferry Pier and Primorsk. If it goes all the way towards the west, we're still looking at more water. It cannot even go east for any reason. If it goes east, everyone is cooked. It just cannot go east. I know for one, this zone is not going to east. It's either going to keep going south or it's going to go north. One of the two. And if it goes south, that's too much water. If it goes north, that is too much open field. Let's just see how this plays out. But it does look like we have hot drops coming in through. This is one too many hot drops. And once again, I'm seeing this, and I can see why Death Dose got a lot of eliminations. This is Death Dose's area. They are hearing all of these fights between Magicians and Neon Force. And Neon Force cannot afford to go out early. You need to... Ooh! Good grenade! Indeed, they understood the memo, man. 4 eliminations quickly. They're like, Lipovka is our land. We shall not be tolerating any visitors. But anyway, I expect teams like RRAGE to complete their fights. RRAGE seems to have Gen Z close to them. That is not fun for them. Actually, sorry, make that RRAGE seem to have Plain Africa close to them. That is not fun for them, actually. But with the way Plain Africa has been playing so far, I don't know, bro. I almost feel like RRAGE could hold their end. Because RRAGE is also not a small team, you know? But RRAGE so far already lost one. I think they were able to initiate a trade there. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 trade. Both teams have already lost one player each. That's a good molly, but it's going to be predictable as they would see it. It's also a little bit short, and that's a good nade up onto Slays. I think Slays should have actually held on to that Molotov a little bit. Maybe get a player to kind of distract those other players there from Pain Africa before trying to do anything. Venom holding on the force. There's a lot of clusters. Like, Puchinki is empty. I don't understand. There's 2 teams out there in Yasnaya. Farm is empty. Gatska is empty. These are places you could have landed, you know. Oh, nade for nade. Good nade. Venom's got the knock. Pushing up. Oh, gets the second knock as well. Oh, that is beautiful play coming in through from Venom as Melio now. The last player left for RRAGE. Tries to pick through, but Venom says, don't do that. I own muta power. Get out of here. 4 eliminations there for the side there of Pain Africa as they emerge victorious. And talk about a player there. Talk about a player there in Venom. I think he got all 4 eliminations. That was a very beautiful grenade. He followed up instantly with that UMP. Headshot straight up. Getting that instant knock there. That is what you love to see. And now the floor is open. Team Unique, Neon Force. They must have seen that on the kill, on the elimination feed. And they know that Rage is out of the lobby. Now you need what? You need to cover those points. You need to maximize the amount of points you can get in this lobby. I need you to go full death dose, full aggro mode, and pipe every single team in the lobby right now. So I want to see Team Unique and Neon Force go for an absolute rampage. Same thing can be said about Relentless and Invincible because all of those teams are still within that 50 to 60, well, yeah, 50 to 60 points bubble. So right now you need to get those points up. Neon Force already have 4 eliminations, so that has pushed them into 70 points. That's at least what 13 points difference. The Chicken Dinner with 3 more eliminations should get them on even points there with RRAGE. So yeah, it's doable. It's doable. So yeah, the fight for second position is still on. I want to see how it's gonna play out here. All right, that does though, and this is what I'm saying. You can just tell how they got themselves so many eliminations because right now you can already see Hardy is just waiting for Neon Force to try to rotate. Lamron. Yeah. This is so sad. This is so sad. And it's like there's nothing they can do. That just throws them off now. Because it's like, how do they rotate? Right? And if the players there from Outlaws were not so passive, they should be taking out dead those right now. But look at it. Anyway, get into the circle. It's a good play. You do not want to spend more time outside this play zone. But it's so painful because right now I can just see that, yes, Dead Toes is a good team, but it does seem like some of these teams just handed them the points that they have right now. You know? Because you're taking all of these fights in proximity to Dead Toes. You want to finish up quickly, get out of there quickly. You know? And I know that's what get out of there quickly is what they were trying to do. But right now they're now paranoid because you don't know where else Dead Toes is chilling. You don't know where else Dead Toes is waiting. And Dead Toes for what is what, they know they've won. They can wait and keep this for however long they want to. This is painful. First zone is already closing up. Everyone does seem to be getting into the circle. Everyone seems to be getting into the center of the circle. And that's where I'm keeping my eye out on all of this. Kind of see how they're gonna play this one out. Because everybody wants Quarry. You can tell. Because that zone, they know the Quarry high grounds are disgusting. And everybody that wants to play there, bro, this is gonna be tough. I would like to see the use of grenades a whole lot. This zone is so not nice. It's so not nice. Like, it's still keeping everyone on their toes. It's almost looking like Gatska open fields might not happen anymore. But if you can see the map right now, everyone is heading towards the center of the circle. It is shocking to see. The entire eastern part of the circle you cannot play because obviously those are open fields. So you have to play either from the center or around the center. I'm trying to see where else people could play. Right, there's so many teams still alive. 15 teams, 57 players. This zone. There isn't so many places that teams can play. Elite R. I mean, yeah, Elite R. I don't know. Since like the second game, I've not really seen them. You know, keep my eye out on this area and to kind of see if they can do that. Epic Games, please rotate, man. And I need you guys to up the games, like up the aggressive gameplay, bro. Up the aggression. I see that come through. Neon Force are still out there in the blue zone. I don't know. I feel bad for them because they've already had a good start. They already had 4 eliminations. And now it's like they're scared to leave because they don't know who is still around trying to keep them. But it does seem like they've already gotten someone to get a vehicle and they'll be getting into the circle now. And look at those. You can just tell they know what they're doing. Like, go in there. They took out just one player there from Neon Forest. They didn't even bother pushing fully. They just took out the one kid there. Like, yes, we've done more than enough. We've already done what we need to do. We've thrown them off, and that's what we want to do. This is actually crazy gameplay coming from Dedos though and Tycoons. They're trying to rotate from the military island. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. But anyway, as I said, a lot of these teams were focused on the center, and we're already starting to see them go at it. Team Unique now. Team Unique now going up against Ocean Galaxy. Ocean Galaxy has already lost, well, yeah, I thought Ocean Galaxy lost one player. Oh, it's Outlaws actually on the other side. Yeah, coming in through for the third party, and Ocean Galaxy will lose Arman. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just seems to be. Everyone wants that center of the circle. It's gonna get quite chaotic here because there's Team Unique, there's Outlaws, and there's also the players there from Ocean Galaxy. Dybala though vaults into the building. He's down there with the Madman from Team Unique. Madman gets Dybala down, and the rest of the rest of Ocean Galaxy now looking to form him from behind, but no face. Takes a whole lot of damage though, coming in through from that grenade. Forced to heal now. He's trying to heal up his HP. Frags is aware of that position. That's a very sexy grenade to the top of the building. Or sorry, top of the sports vehicle there. Takes him down. And 3X comes downstairs, tries to get a knock, but he's going to fall as the players there from Team Unique hold down their fort. Ocean Galaxy down to the last player in Nuradin, trying to see if he can heal up. He's got just the one first aid kit, but if Invincible continue to shoot underneath that vehicle, they might just be able to find the knock. Nuradin doesn't want to have it. Needs more solid cover. That is a good play. But the rest of Invincible looking to form up now as Nuradin loses focus. Didn't want to grab the full HP. Wanted to take that player out. And he falls. Dedos and Tycoon. I'm still looking forward to seeing if they're going to get clashed. And as much as this amount of teams have gone out, there's still a lot of teams. Or there's still quite a number of teams looking to head towards that position being held by Team Unique up on that northeastern edge of the circle. Just that one compound. Tactical Team being one of those teams that are out there edging for the compound as well. Pan Africa making it all the way to Primorsk. They are predicting a southern shift. Players there from Relentless staying out there on Quarry West, predicting a western shift. Players there from LALENA. LALENA out there on that northwest. Does seem to be predicting a northern shift as well. Invincible and the rest out there in the dead center. Invincible Elite R, Generation Z. And players there from Blacklist all out there in the center of the circle. Those now, I'm pretty sure they are aware of the presence of the Tycoon. And maybe vice versa as well. Now the Tycoons now find themselves in a tough spot because it's like, how do you get into the circle from here? Now you've got those who are thinking the same thing or who were thinking the same thing as you were. So are they going to run it? I mean, the players there from Dead seem to be they say they're Somalians, bro. What do you mean Algeria? Relax, Loha. Loha, how are you doing though? This is Dark Dragon's Loha, no? It's been a minute. How are you been? How have you been? Yep. And it does look like with predictions wise, LALENA may have called it, Relentless may have called it correctly as well. We are having a quarry finish. Pain Africa, I expect them to leave Primorsk and hold that little bit of a... Oh, the map's not showing. But anyway, I expect Pain Africa to leave. The zone does move towards that western side. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams are going to play this one out. Blacklist holding it up on the edge of Ferry Pier. They don't necessarily need to move. But in terms of like grabbing good positions, you see where Sue was scoping into, they need to get there quickly. And it does look like LALENA is the squad that wants to get there. Yeah, you see that place is scoping in? He knows they have to be up there. Why they are not moving is what I don't understand. Like, bro, you know you have to be there. Target, get into your vehicles. You're not going to find any extra loot that you've already not found in this building anymore. Just get into your vehicles and leave. Dead those already go for the crossover the bridge. Players from Tycoon got that memo, and it seems like they would want to go for a swim instead. Maybe they may have found, I think they have found the boats. They want to go for that botation. Indeed, they have. Hopefully, they have enough fuel and gas cans to get them up. But anyway, northeast of the circle right now is absolutely chaotic. Generation Z now looking to welcome the players there from Relentless. Or Relentless looking to welcome Generation Z, really. Generation Z, we've seen them push as a squad. That is a very good Molotov up onto Khaled. But Khaled doesn't quite fall just yet. More Mollies coming in through from Kazoos. The players there from Gen Z need to pick up that fight. Mollies connecting up onto Khaled, but Khaled doesn't quite fall just yet. Kazoos sees him cross into the building, and now they know those players are in the warehouse. They've got them cornered. Gen Z needs to force themselves to heal now. And players there from Relentless trying to see if they can get that flank angle. Good grenade up onto Kazoos, but not quite on the money. Khaled drawing in closer. Kazoos hears him. He's got a grenade. The grenade lands. Nade for nade, but the one onto Kazoos is the one to seal the deal. The damage has been done. Relentless now continue to stand their ground, but it is a one-to-one trade as the man is down for Relentless. Gen Z still alive. Grenades being traded, but the third party is imminent as Khaled trying to see if he can find an edge. Relentless lose one more. What now seems to be a 2v3 engagement. Gen Z lose one more, so the trade is even. Zaki coming in through. Doesn't quite spot that one coming in through. Heads into the building, gets one more knock. Khaled coming in through from the side as Zazbi trying to hold down the fort there for Invincibles, but they are counting his bullets for him. He gets one more knock, trying to think if he wants to go for the thirst or not, and that is too much hesitation from Gen Z as they fall. Relentless remain as a two-man squad. Team Unique still alive with 5 eliminations. This is what I love to see. And Team Unique are here for the third party of the century. Khaled gets the revive up, and now they have to stay as quiet as possible. As the players there from Elite are now are out here in the quarry area too. Grenades coming out left, right, and center. And Rami does receive a grenade to himself, but he's gonna be able to get out of dodge just right in time. Madman holding down the forts, but they are not aware of the players there from Relentless. And that might just be the pin in the haystack for them, really. Team Unique now looking to get out. They see that smoke now. They must have gotten that idea there that there is one more squad here. Elite are getting shot at by a tactical team on the third party. But Team Unique lost one player as well. The third party is so crazy. And the zone does move again towards that eastern side. So we're going to be getting a full-on quarry finish. Dead Does out on that southern edge. They're on the shorelines. TYCOONS made it all the way towards the west. But now they still have to keep rotating there. I don't know if they have vehicles. But anyway, the players there from Relentless have finally made a move. I think the player... Ooh, okay. Natty. Khaled, that's good. But third party though, from behind. Team Unique now, they get the memo though. Madman sending that grenade out. That's a good one, but it doesn't quite bounce off the wall. A little overcooked there. The Madman just trying to get himself looted up. 5 eliminations that they already have. But Edits are giving them a run for the money. They're making this tough for them. Relentless now. Natty spots that player there holding the grenade. It's going to be the Madman trying to hold down the fort. Natty knows he's done. He knows he's done the damage. And Madman now is forced to heal. After this heal, I suggest to fall back to your teammate as Legacy comes through to play a little bit of distraction. That does throw him off a little bit. That is good. And now it is a 2v1 for what is worth. Grenade coming in through. It does land, but he nades himself. The Madman as it bounces off the wall, bounces off the crates. Legacy, grab that revive as that man is looking for the test. Natty comes in through, but from behind is where they're going to get shot at, and down they fall. Team Unique remain alive as they're going to be able to grab a revive. 7 healings, but they got assistance there from the third party as Elitar welcomes the side of Invincible now into the mix. This is all happening in Quarry. Everyone wants a piece. It is starting to look like WoW modes. Elitar looking for a way in. They are chilling on the edge of the quarry, but is that enough? Team Unique now, they need to get into that circle. Pain Africa having to deal with the players there from LALENA. Spain Africa lose one more. Players coming in through, and through the smokes, the shots would be found. Venom trying to hold down the fort, avoiding that vehicle. But he knows that LALENA is pushing up. How much is the smokes going to cover him? Molotov is right in front. He does get the spread. And Venom is on fire. That man is on fire. Whoa. And indeed he falls as LALENA send out the entirety of Pain Africa back to the lobby. LALENA eSports, they've been quiet all day and now they seem to be on the money. The zone moves up towards the north again. Elitar have a very good position this time. Would they be able to capitalize? Pick one fight. But Dead Those are still alive. We need to consider that one. They are on the south and they seem to be heading towards the players there from Tactical Team. But LALENA needs to get into that circle there. Going in from that western edge, and they will be meeting towards the side there of Neon Force. But it is a very tricky one there for LALENA. Grenades coming in through as Tactical Team trying to ward off the side of Dead Those. Dead Those get that memo. And we see them driving away. TYCOONS now, they might be taking on the side of Elitar. And it does look like that is what is happening as TYCOONS now would lose one. The shots are going to continue there. The trade is there. It's initiated. Bomboclat trying to hold down the fort, and he's going to be successful with the S12K. Smith, the last player left, randomly spraying into the smokes, but he's got two shotguns facing him. And he's been taken out. Elitar lose one, but they will be able to grab that revive. The third party is coming in through, and here comes the smokes to buy themselves a little bit of cover. Team Unique, they heard that fight. Do they want it? They have to ward off the side of Invincible, but the madman has got a grenade in hand. 2 seconds left to let it fly. Goes out towards Danger, but it's a little too far. Danger does not focus his attention on him, and there is the first knock to be found. The Unique men have found one more knock onto the side of Elitar. Grenades being sent out as the madman looks for the knock, and indeed he would find one. Make that two as the side of Elitar. They are down to one. Team Unique needs to push up onto this building, but they're getting shot at from the side. The shots are there from the madman, and he's able to find the knock. He's up to 6 eliminations. The team up to 11. Invincible does not quite come through for the third party, and Team Unique will get that time to relax, hopefully get a grasp of what is going on in the lobby, but it doesn't end there. Neon Force and Black Fist looking to go up against each other. Klaus finds that first knock, but his teammate is going to fall as well. Tony's down. Same can be said about Lamron. And Neon Force just seem to be addicted to driving the vehicles. They do not want to stop. The players coming in through. No Mercy is able to find the knock, but he does get traded off as the players there from Dead Those now make their way into the vicinity here. But there's only so much Blacklist can do. Just get a knock up onto Pain, but Dead Those is going to be there to clear things up as they increase their elimination count to 3. We're down to final 7 teams. Tactical Team are still going up against the side of LALENA. They're on that southern or southeastern edge. As Dead Those will be looking to grab their revive. They lost Phoenix in all of this chaos, but Invincible now finally push up. Team Unique is still alive, but Epic eSports, they have such a bad position right now. Shakid is aware. I have seen that player play so well before, and today I don't think he's going to be doing any less. But Team Unique now are aware of this Invincible position, and there they start to send the nades. Invincible send theirs back, having to go prone instantly, trying to prevent yourself from getting shot at, but Invincible lose Shakid up to a knock from the side of Epic Gaming or Epic Esports. But Epic, there's only so much they can do. That zone does push away from Quarry, and Dead Those seem to be the only ones in the zone. Invincible grab their reset now. Epic doesn't seem to want to grab the revive up onto his teammate Zeba on the side. They're still going to have to push down, and Shakid now gets the memo, sends the Molotov down, but it's a little too far. Epic, the game, he's the only one alive. He knows they have to move into the circle, but he needs help from the rest of this team. Not taking the shots just yet, and now he lets the shots fly. Not quite able to get that player out of the zone as the top DBS comes through. Shakid gets the knock, gets carried away by the loot, does get knocked. You cannot waste any more time. You need to get into the zone. Invincible, lose 2. Make that 3 as Zeba falls. Last player now is Q. Team Unique trying to find a way into the zone, and they do make it. But Dead Those, they are also still in this one. Team Unique is Team Unique is still alive, but they lost 1 player. Now they have to go into a 3v3 fight with Dead Those. Dead Those get the zone once more, but the madman, he's got a little bit of a chunk of that circle. What does Those eSports? How do they play this one out? Those lose 1 now as the madman finds the intro knock. It's hardy to fall. Grenade still in the hands of the rest of Those. As we've got players in vehicles, do they want to go for the revive? Team Unique still also have their own vehicle. Do they want to send it up? Indeed they do. The madman sent it through into the shack. Grenades being sent out. Legacy loses numbers. And here comes the shot. Sasuke falls. As Death Throws, they're not quite able to hold their fort. Unique wants this chicken dinner. And they get it. That is how you play the game of PUBG Mobile. Team Unique grabbing themselves the 4th winner chicken dinner of the day. You love to see that one. They were on an absolute tear. An absolute rampage. They knew how to third party. They played as a third party. They played as a squad, handling all their fights. And look at how that played out. They saw this idea of Invincible looking to take that fight against Epic Esports, and they said, you know what, we do not want any of that business. We are prioritizing the circle, and they went into the circle. Took out all those players as they were all fighting in the blue zone and continued on and talk about a play from the madman. That player has to be the MVP because that guy was on something else today. Like, look at how he was playing, man. Getting those intro knocks, that is your definition of an entry fragger. I love to see it. I've not seen a game to get me riled up this much like this. But man, Team Unique, what a way to play the game. What a way to play the game. Let us see how that goes. I believe they got over 11 eliminations. I don't even know how many eliminations they got, but that is definitely enough eliminations to get them, if not above, but that should get them catching up to at least RRAGE, if I'm not mistaken. But what a way to play this game, man. I'm so impressed at Team Unique and how they played this one, man. It was such a good game. Dead Doors did try, and you can just tell that they are also a very good team. You just love to see the way they played this one so well, you know. And there we go. Team Unique. 12 elimination from that madman. He has to be the MVP. 12. He got those intro knocks and they were so crucial for his team. I can't even do the math with my hand. That's 12, that's 16. That's another 3, that's 19, 21. 21 eliminations, bro. You love to see that one coming in through from Team Unique. This is the Team Unique I wanted to see. This is the Team Unique that I expected because I said it. I fail to believe that a team is getting 91 points when I have Team Unique in the lobby. Wake up, 31 points. Oh, Team Unique, I love this. Team Unique now, this has to push them in second place on the overall leaderboards, but we'll talk about that one later. Invincible getting himself 10 points, then Death Doors getting himself 10 points. Neon Force still getting himself 9 points. I appreciate it. Sadly, they were not just able to get more placement points, but still, they put in the number, they put in the work. LALENA were an absolute terror to the entire lobby, and I loved it. They played the dark horse. They were here to just cause chaos, and indeed, they did that. 9 points they were able to accrue, 5 eliminations. You love to see that. On Pain Africa, I'm not going to talk about you guys anymore. Tactical team, I keep saying it. You need to work on that aggression, because that is what you need. MVP goes without saying. Has to be the madman, bro. And look at that. He's like, yes, indeed, I am a madman. I'm here to take these guys out. 1300 damage from Justice player alone. 9 knockouts, 12 eliminations, 3 assists. You can just tell, like, he was crucial for his team. He was responsible for over half of his team's elimination. You love to see that one coming in through. Head to head, you don't even come close. 21 elimination, no one. The head-to-head should be between Unique and Unique, because Invincible, you know, like 21 eliminations or 2600 damage makes 1300 damage look like baby numbers, bro. Like, that is just how good it was. 16 knockouts, and this is what I was saying. The remaining knocks that they got, or the remaining elims they got, was from those third parties that they were able to put in. Third party up onto the side of Invincible. And to be honest, Invincible could have played this better, but they chose to focus. Man, I don't know why Shaki chose to loot. You've gotten your elimination. Get out of there. There is no time. You were supposed to have taken out Epic Esports a long time ago. But man, he chose to loot, and that's just that single mistake put the team at a disadvantage. It was a very tricky circle. The circle did not make up his mind quite early, and I like the fact that the teams just chose to play it as the circle was playing. Like, look at that. Everyone's getting looted. We already got that. We got the memo as to where this zone was going, and we started to see those rotations coming in. Dead Doors playing absolute menace towards the side of Neon Force is something that, you know, I cannot understate. But anyway, you see that first circle shifted. We still have a lot of water. Dead Doors, that is a very, very interesting rotation they went on. Same thing can be said about Tycoon, because Tycoon also did the same thing. As you can already see Tycoon all there. If you can see all the teams, I think that is going to be okay. But yeah, Dead Doors already finding their way into the circle. They used the bridge. Tycoon went through the water. That zone then pushed everybody to that western side. And you can see LALENA going for that position, because I pointed out that position that is one place you wanted to be. But look at Team Unique. Went all the way to Quarry, and this is where they did it. Like, every single team that was in Quarry, Team Unique started taking them out. Invincible could have third-partied a lot, but instead they went into that circle, went to the front of the Unique team, and Team Unique was like, oh, how about that? We are just going to help you guys complete all your eliminations. Started stealing their eliminations from that point out. Invincible, at this point, is where I expected them to have taken out Epic Gaming, but they didn't take out Epic Esports. They kept on wasting time. And look, at this point, Team Unique is getting their understanding of what is going on in the circle, and they were able to play down. And look at this. This is where Invincible lost this game. They were, so that molly from Shakid could have been placed better. You can already see Kill has gotten into the vehicle. He wants to get into the zone. I do not get why that player chose to stop. Shakid, you've gotten your knock. Get into the zone and just leave. But no, he chose to stay. And look at that. Invincibles or Team Unique had already made their way into the zone, and they already started taking it. And man, this knock from the Madman was absolutely needed. And I like the fact that Team Unique wasted no time. Instantly sent it in. They saw that player go there, pushed him with the shotgun, got that knock, and they were able to hold all the angles, get themselves those eliminations. 21 eliminations. You love to see that one. Team Unique W gameplay. I mean, the Madman has to be all over this. 12 eliminations, highest damage, most grenade elimination. Man, the top traveler being Unique, but man, I'm just keeping my eye out on the Madman here. They really let the Madman loose, and he came out to play. That is one thing that I enjoy to see there. One more game, ladies and gentlemen, is what we've got before we crown the champions. But in all honesty, Team Unique, you shouldn't have to hold this kind of gameplay until the final day, until the final 2 games. No, because now you're gonna make it like you just made Deados walk away with this one. But Deados, even they are not relenting. They continue to, after that first game, they have consistently been, if not in the top 3, but in the top 5. And that is something that I enjoy to see from them. But ladies and gentlemen, if there's one more thing we would like to see, it is one more game of Miramar. So do not go anywhere, as we'll be right back for the final game of the finals of the East African Clash. I will see you soon. We probably do not hear the countdown, but I hear the countdown, and that countdown means we are about to get into the final game of the day. I do not like the fact that we're going to be ending things on the map of Miramar, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just get into this and let's get this done and dusted. I believe the players there from Death Stores are just like, please, can you guys give us our championship already? You know? But hey, I don't know if I can see the overall leaderboards before this game, but I just want to see that Team Unique in second position because whatever they just pulled off in Erangel was just too amazing. I just loved it. Like, I would like to see them repeat that one, but unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing the leaderboards until after the games. And without wasting too much time, let's get into the final game of the day. And the playing part is not even nice. The playing part said, "Oh, final game of the day, we are going to cook." Because this is well, I mean, it's almost similar to the one we got in the first Miramar, but this time it's just worse. It's actually just worse. But anyways, bringing us all the way from the south once more. It takes us from the south this time, and it takes us all the way towards ruins. So like, even getting to so many places is hard. But hey, I don't want to see that hot drop in El Pozo again. To be honest, I don't want to see Tactical Team anywhere close to El Pozo. Like, if this is going to be the start of you landing elsewhere, please let it be. But this is not. Ooh, someone speaks French in the chat. Hi, oops, comment ça? Sorry, that's not French. Comment ça va? Yeah, and ça va bien. Et vous? That is how are you? And yeah, I guess that is just how are you. But that being said, man, ooh, why does he have a bird? Hey, guys, the playing path is not nice, but at least the zone is beautiful. So the zone is good. Yeah, so the zone is relatively better. I'll take it. No complaints from me there. But bro had a bird, bro. How'd you get the bird? I want the bird, guys. Chat, I want the bird. Let me know how you get the bird. Anyway, everyone does seem to be landing. Team tactical team has gone to Opposo again. Neon Force are out there in the trailer park area. They have the players there from Epic Esports and I believe that is Relentless. They have them as well with them in that area. Generation Z is out there in Chumasera. Just out on the outskirts of Chumasera is where they have the players there from Ocean Gaming and Pain Africa. Wow. Pain Africa, what happened? Pain Africa, this is not you. Pain, I swear, Pain Africa, this is not you. Fireboy, this is not you. Borny, this is not you. Pain Africa, this is not you. Wow. Straight off landing, they've lost 2 to the side of Invincible. And look at that, Team Unique 95 points. Unfortunately, they got wow. Oh, like you're not catching dead those. I'm sorry. But RRAGE though could still cover that gap between themselves and Team Unique. 66 points from Neon Force, and yeah, Neon Force, they've already lost 1 already. But Neon Force is gonna need Neon Force is gonna need Neon Force is gonna need hey, look at that. My own Pain Africa, bro. Oh my god. But Neon Force is gonna need they're going to need a whole lot of eliminations if I thought they're trying to catch up to the side of RRAGE. And we'll see how they're able to pull that one off. But yeah, Invincible's already getting himself 4 eliminations, climbing above the side of Neon Force, and they might be the ones trying to close the gap. But I don't think, I think the top 3 is already decided. It's just a question of who finishes second and who finishes third between the side of Team Unique and RRAGE. But other than that, everything does seem to be up for grabs. I believe Generation Z should be able to go above Pain Africa by the end of this game. So I'd like to see how that one plays out. In case you're wondering how the zone looks like, that is what it is on the top right of your screen. With respect to zone, how do I feel about this one? I think this is a good zone. I think this one is chill. Teams can play anyhow. They want to play, really. This one I don't have any expectation. The zone is not really going to dictate unless we get one of those very hard shifts. And I don't know, it's been a very long time since I saw hard shifts on the map of Miramar. So yeah, I'm not expecting any hard shifts in this one. This is a chill circle. Everyone should be able to play this one all right. I do see a little bit of possible possible engagements there between Neon Force and the side there of Relentless. I did call that earlier that both teams were very close to each other. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to play this one. Lamron is just waiting. Like, anyone who opens that door is getting a shot gun to the face. Now it's never the time to be doing that gun. I think they get the memo. Seen him. Run, bro. Yeah, he got the memo. Jump outside and oof. Oh, Molly to the stairs, but it does get shot. I don't know how that shot connected, but hey, it connected. Klaus is down. Klaus is out. Neon Force. Unfortunately, and look at that. If Neon Force goes out early, and they are going out to Relentless as well. If they go out so early, Relentless might actually be able to finish just right above them, you know. They might just finish right above them, you know. Guys, do you see what I'm seeing? Chat. I think that might be the play. Anyway, Neon Force though, trying to see if they can survive with one. There's gonna be no mercy. He's probably one of the strongest players on this squad as well, so gonna be chilling. He might be able to get a squad wipe as well, but there's no point wasting time. I think this idea of Relentless might just want to push this player, but I don't think they know exactly where he is. So they're trying to sweep from building to building. If you know the building is in, is a solo, just push as a team. He can't take you all out. But it doesn't look like that's their plan, bro. They want to waste utils. Come on, boys. That's a good nade. But no mercy is able to avoid it for the time being. Grenade downstairs. Doesn't quite get it just yet. I think they hear him. They know where he is. Collects one. That's one player down. Looking for two, but cannot find it. Relentless take him out. Survive as a full 4-man squad. And they might just climb above them. They need just a couple more points. And they will be able to climb above them on the entire leaderboard. So Relentless really need to up their aggression game if they're trying to get anything out of this game. So let's see how they play this one. All right, sorry for my little moment of silence there. Just observing moments of silence for the teams that have gone out already. They're those your obvious winners of the championship, looking to find their way into the circle. Them mans are just chilling. Look at that. Hardy, Payne, Luvisky, and Phoenix gonna be your team. They were able to get 92 eliminations so far. Definitely, it's gonna be Phoenix maybe taking the MVP title. It's got 26 elims, unless Hardy really wants to show him up. But I mean, 5,200 damage from one player. That is absolute. That is just chaotic. That is insane numbers. 1,700 damage. 17,000 damage. That is a lot. That's a lot of damage being done, man. That's a lot of damage being done, and that's very interesting coming through from that team. But anyway, zone starting to close up little by little. We're about to get the first zone shift of the match, or of the map. And it does close up, centers up quite nicely. Everyone is close to the center of the circle. And where it's crazy is like the teams that play center of the circle seem to be the teams that are relatively aggressive. And some of the teams that play on the edge aren't as aggressive. So the one aggressive team that now plays on the edge, which is those now end up just clearing everybody on the edge. Because those that are playing edge are obviously too scared and do not want to rotate. But I mean, Phoenix, 22 knocks. 26 elims, 5,200 damage, 4 headshots. But this is bad though, Phoenix. I gotta tell you, like, I mean, it's good. It is good. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, 2 grenade eliminations out of 26. I need a. It's either you're not very used to the grenades, or well, the lobby is just allowing you to do it. And I think it's the latter, because really, the lobby really be allowing a lot of things slide. But anyway, LALENA out there in the center of the circle, looking to ward off the side of Invincible. And I like the fact that Invincible is a team that plays in the center and they stick with it. It didn't work out for them in the map of Sandhawk, so I think Sandhawk, they might need to maybe delay their rotation a little bit as compared to going for an early center circle rotates there. But anyway, Elitar, they were trying to hold up the side of Invincible, but once again, Invincible, when they see the center, they know how to play it. But here comes the rest of Elitar, grenades in the hand, but shotguns, or make that the headshots. Coming in through from Shakid, is going to find that one, but who falls to the DBS? His teammates not quite there for the support, or maybe they are, as Invisano does get one more knock. He knows exactly where the last player is, and they're going to have to buy themselves time as reloads, or sorry, make that the revive needs to come through. Rami sees that player pushing down. Invisano, he is very, very positive. And the last player is going to get spotted there. Shakid is going to get revived as well as Invincible hold their sexy position out there in the outskirts of Monte Nuevo, where they're going to be chilling in the center. Generation Z also taking out the players. Ah! Generation Z took out RRAGE. No way. Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. RRAGE not going to be able to get a second place finish here. Invincibles might even be able to climb. Actually, boys, Invincibles might climb above. Invincibles already have 8 eliminations. That already puts them at 70 points. They need 14 points. A chicken dinner and 4 extra eliminations to equal the points there with RRAGE. Boys, they might be able to do it. Chat, they might be able to do it. I don't think they realize. Invincible, I hope they're able to get those eliminations. But it looks like eliminations are also coming to Invincible though. The TYCOONS also heading towards Montenuevo, the center of the circle. Invincible just needs to take out this team and they have all the eliminations they need. All they need is a chicken dinner. And position-wise, they might be able to get that as well. Get those though. They might be close to the tactical team as usual. So now it's like, can tactical team fight against them? That's what I want to see. Generation Z though, now up against the players there from Ocean Galaxy. They might be hearing those vehicles, but it's like, what do they want to do about it? Kevin, you heard the vehicles. And now Kevin's been taken out. Generation Z now going to have to either stop that rotation or, oh, looks like they're not even, there's no or, they just want to keep going. 2 players left and they're driving straight to the center of the circle. Invincible, they might just see them, but it looks like Invincible are driving away from there. Invincible seem to want to get themselves more eliminations. But they seem to be drawing very close to the side of Unique. I don't know, that doesn't seem fun. At least not for them. Given the kind of game Unique just had, kind of know that they are itching for more. The back and forth shots are already starting to come through now as Invincible now. Spot some of those rotations coming in through from the side of Gen Z. If Tactical Team... Oh, actually, they're already losing players to the side of Death those, man. Tactical Team, I don't know. At least for this lobby or any lobby where you have deaths, those, try not to just give them more eliminations, you know. Just pick a different Miramar drop location because you can't keep blessing them with elims every Miramar game, you know. But anyway, Team Unique looking to get started with LALENA there. They got the first elimination and make that the second knock as well as Exist destroys that vehicle. Pitax is down. Here comes the push there from Ocean Galaxy onto the side of Team Invincible. Invincible welcoming them with open arm. Dead those panning the. Oh my god, you can tell that they've done this so much that right now they are starting to pan them. Anyway, Invincible receiving Ocean Galaxy with open arms as they get that intro knock. The instant thirst following suit as well as Ocean Galaxy not getting this push correctly, but that's a very beautiful grenade up onto Invisano. And here comes the intense push from the Galaxy coming in through, but Arman is gonna fall instantly. Dybala trying to come in from the side, but Shakid spots him out. Oh, he comes out with the Mini 14 in the hand, and Shakid is gonna take him down. Ocean Galaxy down to the last player in 3x. All he's got is his fancy vehicle to work with, and there's a third party onto his position. Invincible though. Invincible, how many elims now? They've got 10. They need 2 more elims, and that's a good grenade. But 3x trying to get out of dodge. Zeba spots him, takes the shots, and they're trying to get that elimination. They need it. Galaxy driving away. 3x still driving away. He's getting shot out. Does he run out of gas? They see him. They're shooting. They get it. 11. They need 2 more. Sorry, yeah, 2 more really. And the chicken dinner. And the chicken dinner. But Gen Z, they are in a prime spot to keep the side there of Invincible, but they're just a 2-man squad. Invincible, can you do it? Unique is also in the background. They need to get into circle. Can they actually do it, boys? Can Invincible do it to finish 3rd place? Gen Z leaving the compound, so that clears things up for Invincible there. Everyone's trying to get into the circle. Dead those on the north. Tactical team still alive. Epic eSports playing very passively, trying to milk the placement points. But right now, if they go out, it's still just no points actually. So he still is going to need to survive more. But tactical team now, they'll be receiving visitors in the side of Team Unique on that rotation. TYCOONS holding a very good position in the circle. TYCOONS might just be able to take this game home. They have a couple long range guns as well. But tactical team now get started with Generation Z. Generation Z now down to the one player in Thomas. Grenades being sent to his position as the full send comes through from the side of tactical team. First knock has been found as he does get pushed from the side. Where are your headphones when you need them, Thomas? As he falls. And tactical team get themselves one more elimination there. Little bit of a consolation as they did get taken out little by the side of Death Bills. They lost just the one player who got panned. But they're still alive and they will be able to grab that revive. Invincible waiting for that. Ooh, that's a play from Invincible. Going for the late rotate. Is it gonna work though? They're gonna need these fights to start. Epic eSports, they're just hogging the blue. They have 2 players left. But now the TYCOONS now, this is too early though. They're not getting those knocks. They're not getting those knocks, boys. Oh, Blacklist pushed up onto the TYCOONS though. They've actually crawled up, creeped up into them. Now, TYCOONS, they have a fight in their hands. Deado's still alive though, all 4 players. 1 more point to push them on 130 points already. Team Unique, 2 more points to at least get to 100. So at least we get 2 teams that are breaching that 100 points mark. But man, my attention happens to be on Invincible. I want to see how they play this one. Deado's now getting shot out on their rotates. As Hardy is going to get peeled from that vehicle. Epic eSports going out to the side of Relentless. They're not in the circle right now as Epic Games trying to see if they can still get themselves more elims. That buggy is on auto drive as it has no drivers, but Invincible needs to get into the circle now. Zone does move a little bit. Team Unique have a very sexy position once more. They have to take out the side of Blacklist and they have a very solid position, to be honest. Relentless able to get themselves the knock, and Team Unique, look at them trying to make it to the top of the hill. Come on. Ugh. Okay, can he climb? See, Ronaldo just holding up as GC is down. Blacklist lose 1 more players to the TYCOONS. Invincible, they're able to make it into the circle. They're trying to make it up the top of the hill. This is not the play, Invincible, no. Okay, are they stopping? I think they're going to stop at the warehouse. But that's a question of where the zone is going to close up to. But anyway, Sue can already hear the footsteps there coming through from the Unique soldiers. And now he's made a move. But the first knock has been found by TYCOON eSports. But Sue falls as Unique gets that instant thirst. They're going to go for the revive. They need 1 more points to make it 100. At this point, they would get placement points to give them 100 points now. But now they've got the high ground. Invincible. They either need to win this game or they need more elims. They need 20 points. They need more elims. TYCOONS still have a high ground and they're looking for an entry. There is the zone. Tactical team is still alive. Death Row still alive. Invincible still up. LALENA still has 1. Relentless is still here. Team Unique still alive. Who takes it home as the zone starts to close? This is the zone that decides it all. Invincible, my eyes, my attention is on you. They have 4th place right now. They might be able to steal a 3rd place finish, getting themselves a little bit of the prize pool money. Can and will they do it? They need 20 points. Or make that 21. 21 points is what they need. They have 11. The zone pushes to the south. Unique still have a very good position. A very, very good position right now. Invincible gets into the vehicle. And if Invincible are able to make it to the south, right? Play to the south to Ladriela. Or Ladrilera. And I think that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, guys. That is what they're doing. Oh my god, that's what they're doing. Yeah, and then from the south, they need to make it up to the top of the hill. But let's focus though. Invincible, or sorry, make that Dead Doors going up against the side there of Relentless. And Dead Doors are on the disadvantage, but they've been able to get 3 knocks already. No, they're getting help from the side of Team Unique. It's such a good position from Team Unique that they're able to third party. Oh no, Relentless down to Khaled, and there's nothing they can do. Dead Doors are going to come to get the clean up. Oh, these are Team Unique eliminations that they're going to be getting here. They're not in the zone. They do not know where the last player there for Relentless is, but he's not close at all. And now he takes the shot. Now they know where he is. Invincible are able to make it into the circle. Now they need the elims. They got 1 more elimination. Now they need the chicken dinner. But more eliminations is still not going to hurt. Team Unique is very close to them. That is a very strong team. But Invincible are opting for a split. I do not know. Tactical team getting started with Invincible there on the elimination field as Dead Doors needs to get into the circle. 4 eliminations that they were able to get, but they're getting shot at. And now they're driving towards Invincible. Can Invincible handle the heat? That is the zone. That is Invincible on their splits. I'm scared. I am concerned. Tactical team still alive. TYCOONS trying to make it into the zone. Benno Baby warding them off, letting them know that this is not a place to push. But the TYCOONS do not have a choice. They have to keep sending it. Invincible, or make that Dark Doors up against the last player there from Relentless. They really want this Elim. What can Invincible third party? Invincible needs to be on their toes. Unique is still the one getting the Elims. The grenade goes upstairs. Khaled doesn't quite connect up onto him. Sasuke is looking for more. Sends it upstairs again. The grenade has done more damage. And that is a good grenade as well coming in through from Khaled, but he is not resting. He's not relenting. They're sending more, but he walks into the fire. And that might be the end. He has to take that fire off of his body. There is no place to move. Khaled does get taken out and Dead Doors secure the compound, but it's not in the zone. More grenades coming in. It's a self-nade, but Invincible need to be on their toes. They need the elims. TYCOONS is just right by their side. Team Unique is still alive. 6 eliminations as they've breached the 100-point mark. That is the most they can do, at least to fight for their dignity. Invincible, I'm still watching. Invincible on the south. Unique on the north. Getting into the middle now, and Dead Doors are still alive. Invincible lose 1 to the Unique Madman. And that is not good. They have 2 left. They need this win. Can they steal a win the way they just stole a win in Erangel? For a back-to-back. They need to do that. TYCOON on a very, very bad position. And now Team Unique has to push up. They know. Grenades in the hand of exist and he's going to get it into use now. Oh my god. Invincible, I'm still watching. The grenades is out. TYCOONS are feeling the heat. Dead Doors might be able to come into for the third party. The zone moves away from Invincible again. It favors the side here of Unique. And TYCOON, they need to push up. How? What are you doing with the grenade launcher? Is that the sword off? It is the grenade launcher. And TYCOONS now still alive. Team Unique, they need to push this. They're running out of utils. Invincible are able to grab the revive bomb to Shakid. That's good. But they can only play with smoke and vehicles. Everyone is sending grenades to each other. Dead Doors is still alive. Dead Doors needs to be out for any of this to work. Unique will lose 1. Dead Doors is still alive. The Madman is on his feet. Unique, they have to push up onto TYCOON, but they know that they cannot leave this high ground. But even the high ground has a high ground. Because Dead Doors now are starting to push up onto them. The nades are starting to fly. If the nade is found or if the knock is found, they are going to push up onto this. And there goes the first knock. Unique, lose 1. But they're able to trade it off with this idea of Dead Doors. But Dead Doors now, they're playing it very passively. In the floor, he does get spotted as the Madman is on a rampage. Dead Doors is out and Invincible just needs to stay quiet. All they need is a sneaky win like they did on Erangel. But Kill is starting to push up. The grenades are good, but they're too far. As Invincibles now, they need to play this very slow. If they take out Unique, it might be it. But they're getting third party. Oh no, the Madman, he finds the first knock. And he might find the second. Invincible, they cannot go out here. They cannot go out here, but the Molotov is sent to the side of the tree. Invincible, go out. Unique stand their ground. And now there's nothing that stops them from pushing the side of the TYCOONS, but TYCOONS get one. It's traded off. It's a 2v2. Smith trying to see if he can get the revive. Exists trying to hold on for legacy. But those grenades are doing in the numbers. Smith is trying to grab that revive. And indeed he does. The reset is there. Unique getting their reset as well. In a 3v3. Both teams have nothing to fight for. But they are going up for it. Those will go out with a smile on their face. But Team Unique might want a back-to-back. They had a very decent game on the map of Erangel, and they've brought that aggression into the map of Myanmar. How do they still have grenades is very surprising, Tycoon. But they're holding on the fort. The terrain is hugely to their disadvantage. But Team Unique understand they have to play this carefully. In a 3v3, who takes it home? TYCOONS just have that slight terrain disadvantage. But they've got smokes. Oh, the first knock has been found. The madman is on to something. That is an intro fragger for all I care. As he continues, he knows where the players are. Sending in the shots to the side, and they start the isolating push. It's a 3v1. He gets one, but cannot do more. Team Unique with the back-to-back. Team Unique. Where was this Team Unique yesterday? Where was this Team Unique in the first 3 games of today? They would have closed that gap. What a game. This is why we love the game of PUBG Mobile. Invincible. Invincible. They just needed 20. They did not have to push. Invincible were supposed to play it the way the TYCOONS played it. They needed to wait, but they did not have the circle too. I cannot blame them. No, the madman is an absolute madman. That player on Team Unique deserves to be praised. What a player. It's like the madman just sees everyone first. Always gets it. Look at that. 7 elims. Oh, what a team. What a player there, the madman. He has to be the MVP again. Oh, Unique Madman, you're in the chat. Come on. Where was this performance? But nonetheless, though, a winner chicken dinner that they were able to get themselves. They did get themselves past the 100-point mark. So I guess that is something, that is some bragging points that they do have. Unfortunately, not enough to close the gap between themselves and Dead Doors. But I guess that is lesson learned from the side there of Team Unique. 5 eliminations from Exist, Madman with 7, Legacy with 2, and the side there of Frags going out with no eliminations, but nonetheless was still able to put in 299 damage. But now, what a game. What a game. I didn't clock it on time, and I don't think Invincibles even clocked that on time as well, but they did try their best. 17 points, they needed 20. Well, they needed 21. They needed 21. Just 4 more elims, bro. Oh, I'm so pained. But man, Invincible, I give them the kudos. You see that last rotation that Invincible went for? Yes, that was so good. That was so good. Whoever made that call, you have my respect. Get those, they just do not go out. They just don't want to go out. What a play. 10 points from Tentos. TYCOONS playing heavy spoiler. TYCOONS had no business surviving this long. But then, they were able to get themselves 10 points. Relentless, also being so relentless, finishing with 10 points. Generation Z with 5 points. Tactical Team with 4. Once more, Tactical Team, you need that aggressive prowess. With the aggression, if you're able to up the aggression, Tactical Team, I promise you, with how you guys play and rotate, you will be quite the force. You will be quite the team. And once again, the madman, the MVP, 7 elims, 4 assists. Is there anything to say again? Just, you know what? Just go back and take listen to what I said about the madman after the Erangel game, and just imagine I'm saying it here. Because that is one heck of a player. The head-to-head, Team Unique and Invincible. Look at this, Invincible. Oh my god. They came so close. Man, I want to see where this pushes Invincible to on the overall leaderboards, but man, head-to-head, 2,900 damage there from Team Unique, 14 elims. That is exactly what Invincible need. This thing that Team Unique did is exactly what Invincible needed, you know. But anyway, 18-9 knockouts, and they were only able to get 14 eliminations from it. It's still not a bad showing coming through from them. And yeah, Team Unique, GG, well played. 14 elimination, 2900 damage. Invincible, 2400 damage, 12 elims. Invincible, you do not wait till the last game to show these kinds of performances. But man, what a way to play. And Deados understood that they had already won this tournament. And you can just tell that Deados is just a team that knows how to play the game. They know how to survive. They know how to leave fights that they're not supposed to take. And they know how to engage in fights that they know that they would have an advantage. And look at them. They spent so much time outside the circle, making sure they cleared that last player there from Relentless, because they knew trying to get into that circle is just going to get them into trouble with the sides there of Team Unique. And they said, you know what, we'll deal with Team Unique later. Let us try to get as many eliminations as we can. And that is what they did. Try to get as many eliminations as they could. And by the time they ended up facing up Unique, you could see that Unique did end up taking them out. And that's because Deados just knew this advantage that Team Unique had. Team Unique had a very, very strong position. It was going to take an absolute throw for Team Unique to lose to any team from that position. But what a way to play this game. Now, this was absolutely amazing. Like, what a game of Myanmar. Things were just playing out so differently. Like Invincible, I really like the way they play. I said it earlier in this game. They are a team that likes to play from the center of the circle, and they played this center circle so well. And even when they had to leave the center of the circle, they still did that to get themselves more eliminations. I really enjoyed the play coming into for them. They knew when to rotate slow, and they knew when to get into the circle fast, and I love to see that one coming into for them. Now look at Team Unique on that rotation, coming in through from that north eastern edge. Those taking out the players there from TYCOONS. I feel like from Tactical Team. I think Tactical Team really needs to find a different spots to land whenever they are playing with Deados, because you cannot keep donating to Deados. TYCOONS also did hold a very good position in that circle, but unfortunately that zone did move. And look at this at this point. You see, Invincible had already gotten a couple elimination here, but when they saw TYCOON take that high ground, you see them just instantly leave that position, because they know that, you know what, we're not going to be taking a fight with those guys that are on the high ground. See them already go for a different position to just hold. Here they were on the edge, and this is where they lost that one player to Team Unique. This is where they had it, no, not to Team Unique actually. This is where they had to chill, and they just waited for all of this to happen. And you see Team Unique coming here, this position that they held this for quite a while, and then they came down. You see that instantly, because they realized that there's a better spot in the zone. And when that zone moved, they had a very strong position. Invincible here, I was saying they needed to go for that south rotation. This is where I needed them to go south, right? And I'm so glad they realized that. The instant that zone moved, they went straight to the south, came back up, but that position by Unique was just too strong. Unique had already held their stance so well on that edge that it played out so well for them. They played it so well, took out the side here of Deados when they pushed up, but unfortunately, Invincible. I'm so pained for Invincible, man. But yeah, Invincible were able to get themselves quite a number of points. But man, what a final circle push. Look at this. Deados, knowing fully well that they had nothing on the side of Invincible. When they tried to push up, the madman said, yeah, I'm going to handle you. And I think the side of Invincible read that wrong, because they thought Unique were the ones on the receiving end. And then they pushed it. Now look at how quickly Unique were finishing fights. That is just enviable. Very, very enviable. But man, the TYCOONS, there was nothing they could do. They had the terrain disadvantage. The madman was an absolute tier. He was on the tier. That guy is such an intro for a guy. What a player, man. If not because Deados also has Phoenix, who has shown or given a good showing. Man, the madman, definitely the MVP of today, because that player did play so well. In just 2 games, he was able to make up for the rest of the games. But man, what a way to play. Now look at this graph, man. Team Unique, 2300 damage. Relentless also did do well. Look at that, those 6 eliminations that they were able to get. But man, I think that those actually did waste a whole lot of time trying to take out Team Relentless there. But yeah, man, what a way to play. I didn't get that, but what a way to play this game, man. Man, Relentless, that was a good way to play the game. Invincible, I give it the kudos, but then I still ask every team that is on this chart, apart from Deathdos, where did you guys put these performances yesterday? We needed these performances yesterday. You shouldn't have allowed Deathdos just get the win, because it was clear that today you guys gave Deathdos something to fight for. And look at that, the madman once more, dominating the match report, bro. Zeba there for longest elim, Unique Legacy for the top traveler. But man, the madman was on something else, man. 7 eliminations, 1200 damage. That's like over 2000 damage done in just the span of 2 games. That just goes to show you that, you know, this guy is something else. Unique, you should be thankful for the madman. That's all I can tell you, bro. What a player. What a player. Man, back-to-back chicken dinner. I want to see how much it pushed them on that leaderboard. But as I said, it doesn't really matter because as much as they were putting points up on board, the guys there from Death Those were also putting points up on board. And man, Miramar, Invincible, all they had to do was just, you can tell, maybe Invincible, they find Miramar to be their strong map because that first Miramar game, they won it, even though they stole that win. But yeah, like, they stole that chicken dinner, but nonetheless, they still try. But anyway, these are the highlights coming through from the day where we started things off with that very chaotic Erangel game. Players there from RRAGE pushing their way to second position. Magicians getting themselves that first chicken dinner of the day with such a strong position. I mean, this first game was pretty much play zone having its own fun, took out most of the players. The Sandhawk game, a very, very chaotic Sandhawk game, to be honest, with Error and Tactical Team trying to hold down the forts. This is where Dead Doors just started, their rampage, making sure they made it into top 3. Unfortunately, Tactical Team not surviving with too many players. They did lose out to the side of Relentless, and Relentless got themselves the chicken dinner. And then what seemed to be like a very crazy Miramar finish from the side there of Invincible. I don't know how Invincible won this game. Team Unique were on an absolute tear. They did seem to be handling out all the teams so well. They took out one more player, and this is where all the play zone. Legacy was the last player left, and all Invincible just had to do was shoot at that player, and that was how they won the game. Now that makes a lot of sense. And then we went on to this Erangel game, which was an absolute showing from the side of Team Unique, pushing up all the way from Quarry, showed everybody what they were made of. That madman started to pop up, and then this push up onto Sasuke in this compound was an absolute interesting thing. He said he doesn't even mind if his teammates were there, sent it straight into that compound, understood how much that knock was needed, and they got that first one. I mean, they got that last elimination, and then in this final game, in what seemed to be a game that Invincible should have taken home, the Unique Madmen, Unique eSports did come through, storming onto the side of the TYCOONS to get themselves that last chicken dinner of the day. Storm trying to hold on, but unfortunately, there wasn't too much that he could do. You love to see that one coming in through. Unique with the back-to-back winner chicken dinner, and you just love to see that one. I don't know if you understand, but man, just watching those highlights from the 5 games from today, you should already know that we had such an amazing set of gameplay. Love to see that one. This has been the East Africa Clash, and I believe what is coming up next should be the overall rankings. Am I right? I think I'm right. Okay, we are going to be getting the MVPs first before we see that. And I think, wait, top players for today or top players for the entire tournament? Oh, wait, it's for the entire tournament, too. The madman did it. He actually did it. He actually did it, chat. He did it. Wow, in just 2 games, it was worth it. And I did say, like, just the way he played today was enough to push the players there from Death Those, out of that. I look at that. He's the only person that is not on Death Those here. 34 eliminations, 36 knockouts, 5600 damage. Phoenix did try, but unfortunately not able to get more than 29 elims. And I could tell that Hardy was also trying to catch up to Phoenix there, but unfortunately not quite able to do it. I mean, actually, apart from Unique, No Mercy from Neon Force was also a good player today, and I enjoyed the way he played, especially in that Sandhawk. You could already tell that this team is someone, this player is someone that his team actually does value a whole lot. Unfortunately, they were not able to, capitalize on that second Erangel game of the day, which was sad. But nonetheless, it was still a good showing, man. Unique Madman, you really, really deserve this MVP, and I gotta give it to you. That was a very good showing today. You love to see that one coming in through. Now, it does seem like we are getting ready for that final leaderboards. You'll be seeing it real soon. But man, I gotta give it to Dead Toes, man. We know that they've won this. We're not gonna lie. Having 3 players out here in the top players just goes to show you how much they were dominating the entirety of the lobby. And there you go. Without saying it too much, your champions for the East Africa Clash is going to be none other but Death Those. 139 points. They got 100 elimination in 2 days. Let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. 100 elimination in 2 days is absolutely chaotic. It's absolutely monstrosity coming in through from them. Team Unique, wonderful gameplay that they put today. They got 3 chicken dinners in total, the most chicken dinner by any other person in the lobby. But unfortunately, they started to get these chicken dinners too late into the tournament. They were only able to get themselves 119 points, 20 points behind first position. I would let it slide. They were able to get themselves 100 points, and this is where it goes. RRAGE finishing 3rd position. I'm pretty sure they were on their toes, praying for Invincibles to go out early in that last game, because if Invincible got that chicken dinner, Invincible would have finished in third. But I guess RRAGE is going to be getting a little bit of that prize money as well, as they finished third position with 84 points. Invincible with 79, just 5 points shy of the side there of RRAGE. Relentless, definitely Relentless. I know they did not start today with being this high up on the leaderboard, but they were able to find their way in. And this is where we have the Somalian teams start to show that they can also play the game, with Neon Force finishing in 6th, Elite R finishing in 7th, Pain Africa in 8th. In all honesty, Pain Africa, you did not really represent Somalia well today or in this tournament. I'm so Pain. This is not the Pain Africa that I know, and I'd like to see you guys put a little bit more work in heading into future tournaments. Generation Z, you guys took fights as a team in the first game of the day. I expected you guys to continue with that, but it does look like some things needs to be hashed up in that team, and I really hope to see that be hashed up. But man, nothing more that I can say, but congratulations to the players there from Death Dose. You guys deserved this game, and you could just tell, because as I said, I wanted to see how you guys were able to get this many points in one day. 91 points in a day is not something that is easy to do. But then going into today's game, apart from the first game where they did not play too well, they did seem to play the rest of the games very, very well. They made top 3 in every other game afterwards. So that is something that, you know, I don't know if I'm still live, but yeah, nothing more, as I said, that I can say. But thank you very much to everybody who tuned into the stream. I'm going to be saying thank you to eSports for bringing this and hosting this. I'll be saying thank you to the Kenyan Pubg League. Also, thank you to Bravo for the donations, also to a part of the prize pool money. Thank you to Mitch Gaming also for bringing this to our screen, and also to GPE eSports for bringing us beautiful production, amazing analysis, and tools to work with as well. You love to see that one. But that being said, a huge thank you to everyone in the chat as well. I saw you guys going at it, and that is one thing that I would always love to see. But that being said, thank you all for tuning in. It's your boy Crowns, and until next time, be sure to have a good one and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.